You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting center. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna miss a treat. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing a song to the break of dawn. Gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting center. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the PlayStation Collectors Podcast. This is season number 3, episode 23. And tonight we welcome Will from JLS Gaming to the show. What's up, Will?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on the show, man. Love the intro every time I hear it, man. And
Yeah.
watch the montage. It cracks me
Right
up.
on.
Man.
Awesome.
No,
dude.
thanks
Good
so
on-
much for joining us, man. It's great to have you here.
No, thank you guys for having me, man. I appreciate it.
I love your setup, man. I'm having fun just looking
Yeah.
around your room right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking at different things.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah, Will.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying you're the serious collector, man. You know, like man, you got some good stuff.
Yeah, when we get into it, man, and I'll give you some of the background, because it's crazy, man. Like when you get older, that meme we all see and we all experience. When you're young, you dream about all this stuff, right? You dream about things of that nature, and you can't afford it. Then but you have all the time in the world, right? So you replay the same games over and over. Then when you get older, you can afford it, and you got no time to play. And Reggie, you're all the time like, Will, Reggie will send me a message and tell me, for FTK, right? If y'all know what FTK, man, he'll tell me like FTK, which means F these kids. Get into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. He'll tell me that. He's like, no, you can't do nothing. He's like, screw work. He's like the evil Kermit. He's like the evil Kermit on my shoulder. He's like, don't. Your kids don't need to eat, man.
Call in sick.
Get the Tifa date.
Play that
Man,
new game.
It's funny,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
because I feel like me and Will, we go, and Joey, you too, man. You come up with a place in the air, so we know how Final Fantasy VII affected us. So I felt like
Mm.
over 25 years later, we finally get a remake, man. We need that time to ourselves to enjoy those memories
right.
of the old game plus a remake. So I feel that's why I was telling Will, like, you gotta just cut everybody off, man. You'd be like that episode of Married with Children, and Al Bundy took a vacation in his own house. He put like a little gate around his couch and said, "Hey, don't bother me until I get done." You gotta be like that sometimes, But yeah, man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's texting me. He's flying the game on. He's like, Will, what chapter you on? What's going on? What's this? He's like, come on, man. Like I said, evil Kermit, man. That's Reggie to me, man. Evil Kermit. He's my bad conscience.
He'll be like, if you don't get to chapter 9 by the time I'm there, I'm spoiling it. So you better play.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But so a lot of this stuff, right? Like, crazy story is most of the stuff I made it a point to get everything that when I was little, I either owned or I wanted really bad and never got. And then I started that journey a long time ago. And back when my wife and I lived in New Jersey, they actually broke into our house. The most I forget what the word I'm looking for, but the thing that they took that was the most memorable, valuable, like as a memory, was my wife's wedding dress, right? Everything else I was able to replace, right? Everything else I was able to replace. I can't replace my wife's wedding dress, which they took, right? But they broke into our house and took everything, man. So I had started my collection early on, like 2000. This happened like maybe 2008 time frame. They broke into the house. I don't think they broke into the house to steal my video game stuff. They just broke in the house to like steal stuff. But they made off with a killing, of what I had at the time. But my thought process was like, yeah, it's replaceable, right? The only thing that wasn't replaceable was my wife's wedding dress. To this day, everything else I replaced, but it was mostly I made it a point to just get everything that I had when I was little. And when I was little, my mentality for all of us that used to trade in games at not just GameStop, but all the companies that GameStop ended up acquiring before it became GameStop, like Funko Land, Babbage's, Software, etc., Game Crazy, right? So I would just sit there and who had the best trade-ins. So Final Fantasy VII, that was my first actual PlayStation game, and what drove me to buy the PlayStation 1 was Final Fantasy VII because I was pissed off that it didn't come to the SNES.
I know.
And
that was
I was
wild.
like, I gotta get it.
Understood how wild that was. That a Final Fantasy game wasn't coming out on a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
That was a huge deal. So,
and that's what got me in love with but and then like I told you guys, like, hey, like PlayStation 2 is my favorite probably of all of them, just because the biggest memories I have then is playing SOCOM online when online started coming out and having the broadband adapter and all that, the hard drive, and beta testing I was gonna say Sonic, SOCOM 2, beta testing that, being in a clan. Rest in peace to our clan leader who passed away. But and my screen name back then, so AK724, if anybody wants to add me on PSN or Xbox, that's my screen name. Even for Apple, I think. But back then it was Simon Belmont. So I'm sitting there, the clan I was in was YAD, You're Already Dead. My name was Simon Belmont, and because I'm a big Castlevania fan, Reggie knows that I'm 2 games away. But Reggie don't want to part with him, guys. Reggie don't want to. He could help me complete my collection. So all you guys out there, tell him, they're like, no, you don't. I collect them CIB.
What
but
games were they?
the 2 I'm missing is Dracula X and Legends.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
No.
We got a mutual friend that got a CIB Dracula X too. That maybe a few years from now he'll feel like being able to part with it for a good price to a good friend.
Maybe one day you'll have something he wants and you can make a trade or something.
I got 2 Symphony of the Night black labels. You know what I'm saying? But that still don't equal a Dracula X. I think it's up to like $900 now. CIB is crazy.
Yikes.
Or more.
Well, but do you have Castlevania on the Sega Saturn?
Symphony of the Night. Wait a minute.
Exactly.
Is that a remake? Because I have it on. Wait a minute. I have it on TurboGrafx 16. Hold on a minute. I got it on TurboGrafx.
It's the Sega Saturn version, translated in English finally, with the extra scenario, extra characters, and things like that. So yeah,
that's cool.
Love the black of the cover too. It's really cool.
I kind of cheated. That was part of the pickup, but it was right here, and we're talking Castlevania, so
can't help it.
Damn it! I got it somewhere. In my collector's case. I actually have the NEC. What is it? What was it called over there? The PC Engine. I have the PC Engine one.
Quick question to ask you: out of all the Castlevania games, what style do you like better? Do you like the level based, or do you like the adventure style, like a Symphony of the Night?
The traditional not traditional. The Metroidvania. I like the Metroidvanias, but the traditional, the level ones. The level ones are pretty cool. Where it is the level, right? So what is it? So like the Genesis version and Castlevania 3, where if you go down here, you get this. You can get whatever it was. What the hell was his name? Because they didn't put him in the anime, right? The pirate guy, Trevor?
The pirate dude.
No, not Trevor. What the heck is his name, man?
Somebody in the comments will help us out, but yeah, it was crazy that he was missing from the anime. Like, how could they not add him in?
You would have thought in one of the seasons, some kind of cameo or something like that. They just made like a passing mention of him, right? They mentioned, like, one of the guys said, "Oh, I ran around, to a pirate or something like that." So
Right.
what was it? Travis? Was it not Trevor? It was was something McNasty or I don't know what the fuck it was. But
Trevor
yeah,
McNasty.
it's Trevor
It's a shame when they
McNasty. I don't
cut
know.
characters out like that. Like a lot of book translations will do it because they've only got a certain amount of time that they can make the show.
What's up, God? Any GameCube?
And there's so many characters, so they just get cut out completely, like they didn't even exist. Meanwhile, you read the books or you watched it forward, and you know that they have a relationship with this character, and they're the uncle of this guy, and their milkman is this guy who from over here.
Well, it's funny. Did you watch the new Castlevania anime series that came out?
Oh, definitely, man. I watched it, and I was gonna say that what Figsy was just describing, it's pertinent to what just came out. What was it yesterday with X-Men '97, right? Where you're sitting there like, because they're showing stuff, and just in those 2 episodes, you're like, because if you read the comic books and it's continuing from way back then, from the '90s, and if you read those comic lines when Jim Lee was doing it, Chris Claremont, and everything like that, you know what's coming, right? So I'm sitting there explaining it to my wife because we weren't together in the '90s, right? I mean, I was not even a teenager, just yet. Yeah. So I'm sitting there, the chills and everything like that, and my wife's looking at me like, what? And then like I used to do battle rap back in the day. So back in the day, I was a battle rapper, and I actually see Reggie probably don't even notice. He's like, what? But I actually did a battle track to the X-Men theme song. So I did a track to that like way back then, like in the late '90s, and so for me it was just a thrill, and I'm like, what? Continuing the story, and then if they tie it into MCU proper, that's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling her, I'm like, that's the character that Anna Paquin plays her in the movies, and I've been together with my wife. We just hit our 20-year anniversary. So I know this ain't PlayStation related, but it's geek culture related. We just hit our 20-year anniversary. Not married, but dating. Married, it's like 17 years. But we just hit our 20-year. So I forgot that we were together when X-Men actually came out in the movie theater, and I actually owned, and then I gave it to my wife. I actually owned the RX-8, the Mazda RX-8. That I guess Wolverine in that movie steals. You know what I'm trying to say, with the X rims steals from Cyclops.
Yeah, right.
In blue, I had that car, and my wife. Awesome, it's rotary and everything.
The problem, yeah, dude, they were sick cars.
The problem was I spent so much money on gas and oil. You have to mix oil with the gas in those rotary engines. And I would travel for work. So I gave it to my wife, and Reggie will laugh at this one. So I had an RX-8, the blue one, with the X-Men rims in stick. It was a stick as well, manual. And my wife had a white Mazda 3 with a zoom. Back then, Mazda's was known for like that zoom. Mm-hmm. It had a zoom sticker in the back. So I ended up trading with her. I said, here. So we were in our early 20s at that time. So you got this chick in the early 20s driving a stick RX-8 with tints, getting pulled over all the time, and getting tickets. And I'm driving this damn white Mazda 3 with a zoom sticker in the back. And yeah, so that's the sacrifice I made. So I gave up my car to my wife, which was the X-Men car. So I'm telling her, I'm explaining everything, and she's like, we were together back then. I said, oh crap, my bad. So I was mansplaining X-Men '97 to my wife yesterday, and she corrected me and told me that. So
that's funny, man.
Time flies, guys. Time flies.
All our stories, man. No matter
it really does, man. Especially when you're established and everything like that, and everything's going well. It just seems like this just goes by really fast and everything like that. Like recently, I was at the Game On Expo, and this is finally a place where we get to meet up with like a lot of other content creators, YouTubers, stuff like that. And that weekend went by like a breeze, man. I got there Thursday night, and it was just insane how fast it was, man. It was such a good time, and I don't know. I just felt like that about like time as an adult, man. Like time goes by faster now. It's weird. Like I couldn't wait for time to go faster when I was younger because I wanted to do things, but now that it's here, it's going too fast. But that's just life, I guess.
Yeah, it's like that clock's ticking, and it's like it's getting faster and faster and faster. And the older you get, the faster that clock gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how my attitude towards like gaming is in general. Like back in the day, it felt like we were getting new upgrade systems like all the time. Every few years, it was just like a normal thing. And now I'm like, they're like, all right, PS5 Pro's coming out. We're getting ready for PS6 soon. I'm like, slow down. Let's just hang out here. I'm still collecting PS4. I've barely begun collecting PS5. Relax. You
Yeah.
don't need to be rushing through nothing. Let but like that's just how it was. Like Sega, how long was it between the Genesis, the Sega CD, the 32X, and the Saturn? It felt like 8 minutes between those consoles. Like, I couldn't keep up. My family couldn't. That's why we couldn't get a Saturn, is because we just got the damn Sega CD like a week before, and they were like, "Oh, Saturn's out." I'm like, we can't keep up. I don't know.
So
I remember the
technology
Saturn's
was actually upgraded.
going on clearance.
I know, right? It's crazy to think about that now. It was on clearance back in the day. How much the Saturn stuff is now. Ugh. But
And I still couldn't afford it back then.
I know, right? It was crazy. So, Will, I wanted to ask you, what was the first thing that got you into video games back in the day? Was it the PlayStation era, or was it anything before that? Like, what got you into like being like what you would call serious gamer?
You know, and oh, man, great question, right? And the crazy thing about it is you emulate your parents, right, as much as possible, or you know, you look up to them. They're your first role models, your first superheroes. So my dad was that for me, and my dad actually he's still a gamer. He sends me messages. He thinks I'm Geek Squad, so he sends me troubleshooting stuff. Right? He's like 75 years old, so he'll ask me. He literally was asking me the other day how to copy a floppy disk. And you know, my kids, they'll look at a floppy disk and they'll think that's a 3D printed save icon, right? They're like, "Oh, who 3D printed a save icon or whatever?" And I'm like, "Yo." So my dad, he found a floppy disk, and he's like, "Well," he's like, he calls me Fred, but he's like, "How do I play this and everything like that?" And I'm like, "That." So it was some game. I want to say it might have been the Jackrabbit. It might have been that game, right? Or I think it was that game. Or it might have been Duke Nukem, like before, you know, way back in the days.
Right.
If you remember the platforming Duke Nukems, it might have been one. It was one of those two or both. And he's like, "How do I play this?" I'm like, "Dad." I'm like, I don't even have media. I don't even have devices that have optical media anymore. You know what I'm trying to say? Besides my PS5 disc edition or my Xbox, right? And any of the retro systems up there if they're connected. So I'm like, "Dad, I don't know how you play it." So I found him a website to play this game that it just emulates those old DOS games. But he had a ColecoVision. We had an Atom in the house. We had an Atari in the house. So even when I was an infant, my dad's playing these games. But my first system was the NES, but probably 86, 87, right? An NES, not like brand new with a ROB or something like that. Even though I lived in the New York area at the time, so I think that's where it launched. I don't think they launched out by you, Reggie, in Seattle, right? I think the NES is launched. That's where they were based, but they had their big launch in New York.
Was in New York, I believe.
That's interesting.
Yeah. The main one was in New York. The launch was in New York. I can't really remember. But just to go into a little bit of my story, because my first system was the NES as well. And my mom bought it for me in Christmas in '87. And I asked her years later, like, what made you buy that system for me? Because I didn't ask for it. And she said, "Oh, I just saw the other kids had it in the neighborhood. And I thought it'd be something nice for you to have and everything like that." Because if I wanted to play a video game, I had to go to a friend's house. And and when you got to play, it was sparingly and everything like that. So I know, right? So got the Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt. You know, I'm having a blast. And that opened me up to like taking video games more seriously. But I say for me, I didn't get too real serious about video games until I want to say probably around the PlayStation era. So so that's my story when it comes to
I started out with like an Atari in my house too. Like my dad, and I was lucky because like my dad was like a little into gaming, and like I could tell he would buy us games because he kind of probably wanted to play them too. You know, now I see the truth as an adult, because if I had a kid, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be like, "Look what I got! You, let me play." But anyway,
and I do that. I do that with them.
Maybe a new PS5 or a PC.
But then, I could tell that, I know that was the truth, because like it was cool though, because that was the best. There's nothing. I don't know, that feeling back in the day where like your parents would just be like, "All right, go pick out a game." We'd be like, "Oh yeah, baby," for no reason, you know. Not your
the right
birthday.
one,
Not your birthday, not Christmas, not like you expect. You know what I mean? I mean, we'd be at the store, and my dad just be like, you know what? Why don't you kids go grab a game? Yeah, oh yeah, exactly, Rich. We pick. I could tell you all the ones we had were terrible picks. We picked by the cover. We thought the cover looked awesome. It wasn't awesome. It was terrible. There's so many games like that back in the day.
Occasionally,
Which
you like
game?
heard of a game and you've seen one that you knew, and you're like, "Oh, they talked about that one at school. You know, have to get that."
Yeah.
Which game do you guys think had the crazy, like the most awesome cover, and then the game just sucked the ass? Like, because I was telling my wife that the other day. I said a lot of games was like that. The cover was awesome. I said, but and then it's taboo if you mention certain games that for you felt that way and you felt bamboozled by buying it because of the cover. Somebody else will tell you, no, that's actually a great game. So which games you guys?
That's a tough one for me. I mean, the first one I was thinking it was a Super Pitfall, but the cover on that game wasn't that great if you think about it. But yeah, I need to think about this one. Fixie, do you have anything on like that?
I remember as
cover,
a
bad
kid
game?
buying this game. It was $20. It still had the price tag on it, and I thought it was going to be fun. It was the worst racing game I've ever played. The trucks were really slow. Like, you couldn't even overtake by like the end of the race. It was terrible. Like,
these little kids on bikes are riding by you, and like, damn it.
yeah, and as a little kid, I was just so disappointed. I'm like, you know, racing games are fun, motorbike games are fun, car games are fun. Let's play the truck game. And it's like Bus Simulator fucking 23, you know.
For me, I think it was weird because for me, even though I think it was a decent game, like I haven't replayed it probably since the whatever 80s or late 80s, but Wizards and Warriors, and the reason being is
what?
That it's Fabio. No. I'm saying from a cover perspective, not the game.
You talking about Iron Sword?
That has Fabio on the cover.
Yeah, Iron
and
Sword.
then this the same dude that I'm going when I go shopping. My mom takes me to Pathmark or Kmart, and you go in to go see video game magazines. You see all the romance novels, and you're like, "What? Why is the Wizard and Warriors guy right there holding some chick? You know what I'm trying to say? Some half naked chick. You know." So I'm a little kid, so I ain't put two and two together like that, but. It was weird to me, but again, that's just something where the cover sticks out to me because it had Fabio on it, and it's still weird to this day, right? Because if you see it and you see they always like Super Bowl try to have a Super Bowl parody commercial with Fabio on it, and it's like, dude, that's the Wizards and Warriors guy, you know what I'm trying to say? Like that's how I remember him, and then my memories being like, why is he on these? And he was like on back then. He was in every romance novel. He was the cover guy. For every romance novel. And I'm like, damn, that Wizards and Warriors guy, he gets a lot of action, man.
Well, like granny porn.
Yeah, my answer is like every single 2600 game. Every single one.
When I think about the Fabio guy, man, I think about that whole incident where he's on that roller coaster and he got hit with that bird. You remember that, Will?
No. Where was that?
You remember that? That was on the news, man, like years ago. Like when he was real popular.
Yeah.
He got on a roller coaster and a bird flew by and he smacked him right in the face. He killed the bird, but he was okay, but his face was all bloody. And I'll always remember him for that, for getting smacked with that bird, man. It was
on the famous roller coaster that was like the tallest one at the time, and there was a serious incident that happened like later on, and he was the first person to ride and like got smacked in the face by a bird, like broke his nose. Yeah, it was a crazy story.
it was
the Wizards and Warriors guy.
The Wizards and Warriors guy. Will, it's hard for me to think of one, man, but I have something here that I think has a cool cover, but it's a crap game, and it's gonna be in my pickups later, but I'll just show it to you guys. Everybody knows I love the Cobra Kai series, so I picked up Cobra Kai.
Yes.
For part 2 for the PlayStation 4. And Will, I love the cover because you got Terry Silver right here in the background, kind of like faded in the background, like he's got a back turn. He's got some business in the game. And I like everybody usually, but I'm all about Cobra Kai, the Cobra Kai team and everything like that. But the game itself, man, is so broken and messed up, man. I cannot believe they actually put this out as a game. It's like a choppy PS2 game. And Will, I was so disappointed, man, because I was so pumped up because Cobra Kai never dies, and it's just one of the most
I know
games
Cobra Kai. before the TV series came out, I was always one of those conspiracy theorists posting that, Danny LaRussa was really the villain, and
Yes,
all that
that's
stuff.
right.
I was like, no, man, he's really the villain, blah, 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 blah. And then people later on were like, see, I told you once they came out with the Cobra Kai. But that game is awful. That game is Cobra Kai Part 2. Part 1 was not bad, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. It took me a while to beat Kreese at the end. You know what I'm trying to say? But Part 2 was I stopped after like
unbelievable.
Like
all they had to do is use the formula from the first game, continue it on, make it a little bit more. But they tried to do something 3D, and it turned into some crap training simulator where you got to run laps around the gym. You got to do all this odd stuff. I'm like, dude, how could they do this, man? But I don't know, man. I really like the first one. That's why I gave this one a chance. And I didn't pay much. I actually got this one for free, luckily. It was going to be $10 to buy it, but I brought the guy who was selling it some cookies from the break room. Like this girl made these sugar cookies that were like Nintendo themed. I brought him a bunch of those. Oh man, let's have it, man. I was like, cool. So got the cookies and traded them for the game. So it's kind of funny.
I'd take the cookies too, bro. I'd take the cookies
I know, right?
too.
He definitely got the better deal.
Yeah, right.
So I'd say my
More
answer, if I had
enjoyable.
to pick one, is I'd say Highlight on the NES. I don't know if you guys remember that. I remember the cover of that looking so badass with the guy fighting the dragon, and like I was expecting, this epic game, like either like Galvalius or Zelda or something at the time, maybe or Dragon Warrior or whatever. I don't know if you played the original Highlight, but it's definitely its own thing, and I'm not the biggest fan. I didn't like it back. I like it more as an adult now that I put the time in to figure out what the hell's going on. But I remember as a kid just being like, what? I didn't think it was just, I didn't understand the game. It was so weird. I don't know if you guys ever played it.
What's crazy though, Joe, is about those games is that they would do the art before the game even came out. So they have the artist draw it. They give them a kind of like a figure, like what the game was going to be about. And they would draw something cool. And then the game would be like a crappy game or something like that. Like it's kind of weird how they did that. Like I thought the best way to do a cover for a game was to see the game itself and then draw a cover. But they were doing it reverse back in the day. Like an example is Mega Man 1 and 2.
Mega Man. I was just going to say Mega Man is the worst cover.
It's like, dude.
It's like
and the game was originally going to be called Rainbow Man. What the heck? So, yeah, pretty crazy stuff, man. But, I mean, those covers nowadays, looking back at them, and they're really, some of them really stand out, are really cool if you think about them. Like, like how they kind of stand out. Like one of the games that I think of right now is that game called oh my God, it's for NES. It's like a weird top-down shoot-'em-up game. It's called Guardians or something like that. Well, now I gotta look it up.
Guardian Crusade or whatever.
No, not Guardians Crusade. That's the PS1 game. It's an NES game.
Yeah, it's got like an orange reddish label. I can picture it in my mind. I just can't remember the name.
But I can't think of the name. This is so weird. Like I usually have a bunch of knowledge about this stuff, but now I can't think of the name. But moving right along, I guess, but those covers of old school games are really nice now that I look back at them.
Reggie, I can relate that whole
the Japanese
thing
versions
to books where you write the book first and then you pick the title. You don't write
Guardian Legend. The Guardian Legend.
Thank you. Yes.
And it does have a dope ass cover, so I know what you're talking about. It's got the eyeballs and the demon and everything. So I always wanted like Demons to Diamonds on the 2600. That was another one. But I feel like every 2600 game falls in that category. Like for real. Like the covers look badass, and then you play it, it's like boop 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 boop. Like, what the hell is this?
What is this? Yeah.
I mean, they had technology that they were fighting with as well. All right, that was the best that they could do for the time.
You needed to have imagination to play those games, but right now, I feel like go pick Atari games right now, completely cold blind, just based on covers. And you'll have a good time. You'll have a good time being like, oh, okay.
So, Will, another thing I want to ask you, man, like what made you want to start doing YouTube? Like what got you into content creating?
Dude, that's a great question. And I'll explain it, right? In terms of because it's a weird story, right? So I really didn't even for me, it wasn't YouTube. I'm a workaholic and stuff like that. My kids, I have all these games and I try to live vicariously to my kids, to have them play and everything like that. And what they would do is they would watch people playing video games. They would watch people do speed runs. They would watch people playing video games. And I'm just like, you have that game. You have that game. I bought you that game. Like Joe said earlier, you buy games and you kind of give it to them and try to live through them because I don't have time to play Call of Duties or Maddens and whatever every year, but I buy it and then I share the content I share it with my kids. So I buy physical, but I buy digital to take advantage where I can share it, right? So we have two PS5s in the house. So my daughter, she wanted to play Final Fantasy VII. So I have two physical copies. I think I have the deluxe physical and then the regular physical as part of the collection. But then I played it digital. I don't want loading screens or I shudder to think that you have to swap a Blu-ray. Oh my gosh, that takes me back nostalgia. Swapping discs. So I don't know who. So I have a 4 TB SSD. Yeah. Like the why would you do that? So I bought it digital, whatever. It was 100 gigabyte, 110 gigabyte download. But I have it where even on my Switch, my personal Switch as well, my daughter and my other son, my other daughter and my son, they share my account on there so they can share. So they just got Princess Peach Showtime, so that'll go live in like 40 something minutes, right?
Wow. Okay.
But
it's about that game.
But my personal Switch, because I don't go online with it, so they use my account to share it. My personal Switch is modded for homebrew. So the one I use is a Zelda OLED with a homebrew chip and everything like that, which I got to take in the morning to my buddy to fix because something happened. The firmware needs to be reflashed.
Right.
So anyway, but you know, that's the kind of stuff where that's what got me to really take with I try to live through the kids and try to just buy things to have them. That's why when Joe said like, oh, the PS5 Pro is coming out. So my whole thing is, you know how when we were little, we get hand-me-downs from like an older cousin or something like that, a shirt, you wearing a shirt from like 5 years, 5 years out of fashion. Or sneakers that are already like talking, right? Because they already the soles is coming apart. So people make fun of you like they talking. My hand-me-downs to my kids is PS5. They came out with the one with the better fan or whatever, like that revision before the slim, so to speak. Oh, I gotta have that. So I buy that. Or my Xbox Series X. Oh, I needed the Halo edition because it makes the cool beep. So I bought the Halo edition. So I gave my launch day Xbox Series X to my daughter. Then when I buy this one, so they get the hand-me-downs. And if you went into my daughter's room, she's got like my hand-me-down Sony 4K HDR TV, this hand-me-down Sony system, right? She's got the hand-me-down PS5, hand-me-down. It's insane. So I tell her sometimes, I'm like, man, but like you said, Reggie, when we was little, if we got a system, it was by luck, by saving up, asking everybody for Christmas, what do you want for Christmas? Money, saving it up. That's how I got my first Game Boy, because when they were $200 and like I think it was 1990, like I asked everybody for like a whole year for birthday, for any kind of thing where I don't have hair now, right? I rock a baldy, but back then I had a big fro on purpose. What I would do, and my parents, if they're watching this, and my grandmother, rest in peace, what I would do is I would grow my hair so wild, and each one of them would give me money to get a haircut. Here's $10. Go get a damn haircut.
Wow.
Go get it. So I'd get the haircut and keep the $20. And I saved up enough for a Game Boy. Yeah, man. Like I on purpose, I just let it grow. I'm like, no, I want to just let it grow. I want to, have a Dr. J afro or a Michael Jackson afro and everything like that. And they'd be like, no, go get a haircut. What are you, crazy? Here's $10. All right. And then and that adds up, man. That little bit adds up. In a year, I had enough money. I went there with my piggy bank money, right? And went there and bought the first Game Boy, man.
I love that.
That was awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, did you have a choice between? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, when I was a kid, I remember I started working it's like at 14, literally as
Yeah.
the second I could, just so I could go buy my own video game, so I didn't have to beg and
Yeah.
wait, because that was the worst. Because you guys probably you'd be looking at magazines and looking like, I want
Yes.
that game, or you go to somebody's house and they had a game that you played for like a half hour, and you just lie awake at night dreaming about that game, like, God damn it, I want that game, like it would be so bad back in the day as a kid. So I remember like just as soon as I could have my own pocket change, I was like, yeah. And that was like for me right around like the PS1, right around that era.
Yeah.
So that's when I started buying my own games.
Okay.
And that's why I think I have such a
love
love
that
affair
system.
with PS1. But yeah, because I was always so pumped, because I was like getting any game I wanted. Well, not any game I wanted. I couldn't buy all of them. They were expensive, but the games I wanted, and I was picking them out and I was playing them. Oh, it was just so dope, dude. Finally free of the waiting. Like before, I had to be like, you get good grades and you can't hit your brother and you can't do what I was like, you control me with these games, man.
I know, right? That's hilarious. So another thing, Will, I wanted to ask you, man, like your channel's almost got 50K subscribers, man. And how long have you been doing your channel for?
So, okay. And I'm sorry, I got sidetracked to tell you the story. So the story around it is, so I started the channel because this is what hit me as an epiphany, right? I'm a sports fan, I'm a big, I love especially football, NFL and NBA, right? And when I was watching my kids watch these things, I said, why are you watching it? You got the games here. And that's when it hit me one day, Reggie, where it was like, I'm a grown ass man watching other grown men play a little kid game. So that's when it started hitting me, where I was like, wow, esports. And that, esports, that's when it started hitting me. I started watching speed runs. So I'm working and I like watching things in the background, right? Watching MCU movies or stuff like that while I'm working, because I work remote. And as I'm doing that, so when the pandemic hit, and I know I tell you this all the time, because we met like a long time ago at PRGE one year. And, I would go to the events and I would sit there and then I started watching YouTube, because my kids are doing that. And I started watching content creators and I'm like, yo, this is really cool. This is this. When the pandemic started and, we're quarantined, I wanted to do, and we started JLS Gaming as a family thing. A lot of people, including you, Reggie, they call JLS Gaming, they call me JLS Gaming, and it's really the family. But the kids, like everything, right, they abandoned it, right? At first, we had whiteboards where they're writing what content my wife would do, which I've never played. I got like 6 physical copies of Animal Crossing for the Switch, and I never played it. So they're all playing it during the pandemic, and we were doing content. And I said, okay, let me start doing, I want to start doing the JLS Gaming Show. And I always wanted to talk about gaming, but from a business perspective, because ultimately what I want to do, and I'm a serial entrepreneur, I believe, and we were talking about Game of Thrones earlier, right? I believe that, like they say there, what they said in whatever Latin, I think it is, all things must die. So I'm really a firm believer, because I was around early on when there was migente.com, blackplanet.com, Asian Avenue.
Black
there was
Planet.
Friendster.
Oh my God.
Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah.
And then MySpace, and then Facebook, right? And what I noticed, I have 5 kids. My oldest actually in 3 days turns 27, right? And my youngest turns 10 in June. And so I have so the 27-year-old and the 10-year-old are different, right? The 27-year-old is on Facebook. The 10-year-old, the soon-to-be 10-year-old, she made fun of my tattoo, guys. She made fun of my tattoos. First off, she couldn't even read this because it's calligraphy. And the kids nowadays don't do cursive.
Yeah.
So they don't do cursive. They don't know. She don't know what the hell it was saying. And it's like, it's your mom's name. And then she sat there, busted out laughing, and said, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. That's the stupidest tattoo I've ever heard. She said, why? I said, why? And she's laughing at me, man, my 9-year-old. And she said, what if y'all get a divorce? And I was like, oh, God, man, you know what I'm trying to say? I said, you being that pessimistic,
Wow, yeah.
you're going to get it 20 years.
You just have to explain you left enough room underneath to write sucks.
Yeah, right. That's a good one. That's a real good one. And so I'd like to eventually, and what I've been working on, things behind the scenes and everything like that, and and I built my network within gaming. I live out here in the Orlando area, and a lot of people they don't know that Orlando is a big, besides Tiburon, EA Studios being out here, it's quote unquote, they got a lot of game development stuff. The community out here is big for esports, and the community out here is big for game development, and they want to be the epicenter. They call themselves the epicenter of the metaverse. So I've met a lot of connections. I made a lot of connections within the gaming industry, and eventually I'd like to be a member of the team that works on the eventual successor. Because again, if you believe that all things must die, I believe that eventually YouTube and Twitch, Amazon and Google will have to step aside, right? And there'll be a new player in town. I mean, TikTok, while the US is trying to ban TikTok, TikTok has overtaken as the number one most visited website, Google and YouTube, right? So TikTok's number one. It used to be Google and YouTube number two, right? The top two search engines actually out there as well.
Right.
And TikTok has taken that over. So I'm a firm believer that all things must die, and I want to be in the ground level. So when I work on things, my motivation, and it'll make sense what every tangent I've been saying, my motivation is to build the platform that we like, but build the platform that my daughter wants to log into every day, 3, 4, 5 years from now when she's 14, 15. She's a little gamer. She beats Mario. She made fun of me with Super Mario Wonder. She beat it way before me. She obviously has a lot more time. But my wife made fun that my 9-year-old's got to sit there, grab the control, and help me pass some of them levels. So that's messed up, man. So that's when you know you're getting old, man.
Hey, did you
That's
guys
when you
ever
know
have
you're
a-
getting old.
Did you ever have a game that you beat when you were a little kid that you couldn't beat as an adult? Like I've beaten some
The
Nintendo
Goblins,
games.
the
Yeah.
Ghost and Goblin
That's
series.
a good example. I can't beat like Ninja Gaiden. I remember beating that game pretty
Oh,
like,
Ninja Gaiden. Oh,
several
Turtles.
times. And now I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
man.
Ninja Turtles for me, man. So I actually played Ninja Turtles a couple of years ago because I got the NES version again. So I was like, I can beat this game again. Got all the way to the end of the game, and then in the Technodrome, right when you're making that last run to get the Shredder's door, these laser guys, they come at you at these different angles, and they try to they shoot the laser at you. It's so hard to get past them, and they got me right at the end. I said, man, this game is some bullshit, man. I'm never playing this again because it was such a slog to get there to that point. I was like, man, like I remember the frustration I had as a kid because, like, man, like, if you got to like that point when you were a kid and far in the game like that, man, it really meant something. They didn't have to start all over again. I was pretty optimistic as a kid I'd start over and play it again, but now I feel like I lost a bunch of time putting it into that game when I could have been doing something else. That's the adult mindset now. So you feel like it's wasted time. But I still felt like I still had the skills to play that game and beat it again. So I was really upset. Another game was Punch Out. I got the Punch Out. I got the Tyson again. I actually used the code because everybody remembers the code 007-373-5963. Get the Tyson.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, I'm going to beat him up, right? This the whole time. I never forgot those numbers. Never forgot those numbers. And
Where did you play it? Tyson. Reggie, where did you play it? On an original Nintendo?
That's the problem. I didn't play it on original Nintendo. I played it on the Wii.
Emulation. Yeah, the frames. A lot of people don't know. Problem.
The frames have to be damn near perfect to fight Tyson. That's why you have to play it on a regular Nintendo. I did not know that. I thought my skills diminished, so I was really disappointed. But then it wasn't true. I still had the skill. It's just I was playing on the wrong
emulation.
System. Yeah, that's when I realized emulation is a bit different with certain games. I mean, it's better for a lot of games, but there's some games that you got to be pixel perfect with the movement. And Tyson's one of them, man, because in that first round,
Tyson,
if you're not fast, he's going to knock you out. And those knockouts take their toll on your character. But I would just say those
it's damn near impossible to beat. It's damn near impossible to beat on the NES Classic because of that. Because it's like the frame skips or something like that. It's damn near impossible to beat Tyson on the NES Classic.
Yeah, even though they try to replace him with Mr. Dream, man, we know that's Mike Tyson.
With Mr. Dream, that's Mike Tyson.
So,
you mod it. You could put Tyson back on if you mod it, right?
Really? Oh hell yeah, that's what I probably should do.
No. I mean, yeah, if you use what is it called, Hackchi or something like that. If you put the Hackchi mod and you could put all the NES games, yeah, you can still play Mike Tyson's Punch Out with I think everything, even with the save states.
Oh heck yeah,
So,
that's what's up, man. So
but the
one more
emulation
thing on
sucks. You
that.
can't beat it.
I know, right? You get to him, you're
Yeah.
like, man, what the heck is going on here? I mean, I still think he's unbeatable if you don't have the right system. But before we get into like the topic that we were going to talk about today, there's one thing I wanted to ask you. So I know you do the GG Retro Box, man. How does that work? And can you like tell everybody what those are about real fast?
Yeah, I'm showing them because and I got you a box coming, right? So these are GG Retro boxes, right? And so this business was started by my daughter. We're serial entrepreneurs, so it's a subscription retro box service. That's awesomeness, right? I don't want Nintendo to come after me or whatever like that. So that his name is Awesomeness. This is super awesomeness, right? And then I'll send you guys the I know I sent you the art already for the next box, right? This is Mega Gen. So what we wanted to do with GG Retro Box is, as you see in the background, right? We end up being cardboard collectors, right? And one thing that I'm always a guy that I see things, and I'm so in my main profession, I started out as a hacker in high school. I couldn't hack. I didn't want to go to jail. Now they throw you in jail even if you're a minor. They'll try you as an adult. So a lot of these hackers that do things. So back then, once I turned 18, I said, "Nah, man, I'm doing things legit." So I went to school and everything like that. And a hacker essentially is like a reverse engineer. So they figure out why what makes it tick and how they can exploit it, et cetera, et cetera. So my whole thing was when I get, and I've done my whole career where I come in Vini Vidi Vici, where it's like I love doing things where something is broken, fixing it. And my mentor, one of the biggest pet peeves he told me he has with me is, he said, "Will, you never stop and smell the roses." And I'm like, "Nah, bro, Vini Vidi Vici, right? I came, I saw, I conquered, and I need the new challenge, right? The only thing, yes, sir.
That's good.
Yes, sir. The only thing that I'm faithful to 100% is my wife. I'm like, with everything else, I'm a polygamist, man. I'm like, when it comes to jobs, I got multiple jobs. When it comes to systems, I got favorite systems, iPhone and Android. When people ask me, "Oh, iPhone or Android?" I'm like, both. I got both, bro. So when it comes to my wife, right, just number one, always, you know what I'm saying? Everything else, I am cheating. I am doing this. I'm doing that. And with GG Retro Box, what happened is I've tried out some of the other ones. I don't like bashing competitors, or I don't even want to call things competitors, but I tried other ones and I've seen the disappointment. They're almost like, and I got a crazy sense of humor. Reggie knows this. It's almost like a Wonder Bra back in the day, right? Like you're thinking, wow, right? And then if something, they take off the Wonder Bra, you're like disappointed, man. So I'm getting with these other subscription box services, right? And then you get the box and you're like all excited, and the box, I've gotten it where it comes in a plain vanilla envelope, and the box is just like a box, like an Amazon box. Even Amazon boxes are nicer than this box.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened it up, and then I get crappy games. I think they gave me like a Barbie on the Game Boy Color game. You know what I'm trying to say? Like a Barney game. I said, what the F is this? I said, and then I thought about it. So you know how we were talking about the beautiful boxes, and we bought games with great artwork on the box. And then I started thinking, when I was a kid, what did I like? What was the thrill? What was the nostalgia? We all seen that meme, the kid talking about N64. So I wanted us to relive those memories, right? And that's why I came up with the concept of our boxes every month. It's new, cool ass artwork. The boxes themselves are collectible. So we have it where this is the box. So even your mailman, right? Your box gets delivered like this. The label is going to get put on the back, right? But the box comes to you like this. So even the mailman, right? And I got that concept because my wife, she has a great sense of humor. She's still out there. She sends people. Don't let her get your address, because she will send you glitter bombs with like, she's got people right now that are frenemies because they got I call them little arrows, but if you can imagine what they are, little golden arrows, they're not really golden arrows. You know what I'm trying to say? They're, male
Yeah, I got you.
phallics or whatever the hell. Yeah, so she'll send people that, she'll send people confetti bombs. Like, she's crazy like that. So there's those concepts where she'll send something to Reggie. She probably end up doing this one time to Reggie, and it's like, oh, your hemorrhoid cream, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be like the box, but inside it'll be like some game you asked me for or whatever like that, and she'll send it to you in
right.
So your mailman's like, what the hell is Reggie, you know what I'm trying to say, into, you know what I'm saying? What the hell kind of STD he got? So this gets shipped to you like this. And my mailman, right, I was talking to him one day, and that's where I kind of got the concept, because I was like, yo, because I get those Marvel collector cores, and those used to come from Amazon, those subscription boxes, and they used to come the box itself, right? And you can see like, oh wow, this one is the Marvels, or this one is X-Men 97. But now they stuff that box in a box. So it's like you got to open the box and then you see it, but the mailman or whomever or Porch Pirates don't see it to sell. But I wanted to have it where it's like this. The concept around it is it's also a technology platform that you can put your collection in. You will never get a duplicate. You will never get a game that you don't want, right? Out of there. When we first launched, I did a kind of proof with a buddy of mine on Glenn's Retro Show, you know what I'm trying to say, and he's big into Xbox collecting. So I told him, glitter boobs too. She just let us know. And he sat there, and we were able to send him the very first box, and it had games that he's going for a full collection of Xbox original, right? And he's missing only like 40 something games. So we were able to pack in the box 5 games from that he was still missing for his collection in the box. So that's the concept around it, the platform. It's my 16-year-old. She just turned 16 a few months ago. It's my 16-year-old daughter that's doing it, and we tell her, listen, no disrespect to anybody out there. Remember, I told you I got 5 total kids. So I got other kids that worked at fast food when they were 15, 16. You know, when I was 15, 16, I worked, cleaning dishes and all that stuff, cleaning bathrooms too. I used to have to clean dirty ass bathrooms at a mechanic shop. Yeah. But what we wanted to do is, this is her business. So she's the entrepreneur. She's the CEO around it. She's 16 years old. She's done the technology platform. She's out there, and she's a gamer, and she's doing this, and it beats working as a sandwich artist at Subway or Jersey Mike's, right? She sits there and she does this, and we totally support her, and it's just a beautiful story. And she coded the entire website herself and the application. So the application, what we're trying to do is, and again, not bashing anybody out there, but we're trying to eventually, with the application, be an alternative to some of those where you do your charting of your prices on your collections and stuff like that. So we're trying to have it where it aggregates data. It aggregates data from more sources, not just eBay, right? So more sources like Whatnot, Reggie, Drip, other channels, right? TikTok Shop is going to launch soon. Retro Games in third quarter. Right before this meeting, I'm negotiating and working on stuff with that. But we're going to launch in 3Q, even if in 2Q, 3Q, we're going to launch. Even though I know they're trying to ban TikTok in the US, right? But if that doesn't happen, it's definitely going to launch.
When they mean ban it, they just mean they want to have an American company own it. That's all.
Yeah.
They don't want it to go away or close it down. It's too valuable and too profitable, and it's a giant and it's a useful tool. They just don't want it to be used
owned by somebody
people
else.
They don't like. That's all it is. Facebook buying it, or freaking
right on.
They already own too much.
Yeah. TikTok
go ahead. No, what I was going to say with this is, and the cool thing about it is, we put Easter eggs in there. So I know there's a glare because I got that. So you'll see this is Awesomeness, and our artist is Graven, and he's a great artist and everything like that. He's also a gamer. We sit on the board together at Free Play Florida. The committees, actually, he's the board. My wife's on a committee, and we're on a committee as well. But he put little Easter eggs in there, man. So you see the Ninja Gaiden Shurikens, you see the Fire Flower, you see, I'm trying to say, Samus's helmet, you see swords. So we wanted to have us, right? So the target audience is not only us, but some of the younger generations that like retro. But for you to get that nostalgia feel, for you to get that tingly feeling that I got yesterday when I heard that X-Men 97 theme song come on, and I'm realizing it's going to be new episodes 30 years later, you know what I'm trying to say? And I'm like, oh my gosh, and my wife's looking at me weird. I wanted people to get that kind of nostalgia, because that and whatever those chemicals are, and I think that's what we're accomplishing with GG Retro Box, right? You're getting games you want. So you're not getting the Barbies, the Barney, you know, for Game Boy Colors that somebody got at a garage sale, whatever like that. You're getting games you want, curated for you. The other thing that we do in the platform is you track your collection. You can track your whole collection. You don't even need to subscribe to the boxes to do that. But let's say you do that and you subscribe to the boxes. Remember with the Nintendo eShop, where when you buy a game, it'll be wrapped up and you can, or it downloads, right? And you can unwrap it. So the platform will know the games that it's sending you. So if you wanted to spoil yourself and see what games you're getting, they're going to show up in your inventory as a gift, right? So you can open it before you get the box, or you can get surprised and be like the N64 kid, get your cool box, you know, look at the art, then open it, do your unboxing videos, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what we went for. And I really think that our product is out there, and as more people know about it and hear about it and the buzz continues to generate, I think it'll be the number one subscription box out there for video games.
Well, I just had a question on how you decide what games to send people. Does it work on they upload their collection and then put in like what systems they collect for and what they're looking for? Pick off that list or things like that?
Definitely. So they can choose their systems. They can upload their collection. We have the capability where, and we're working on it, right? It's right now it's a one-person shop, her 16, and she's still in high school, although she's doing great and she's taking college courses as well. But you can upload it. We're working on some import functionality too, right? So you can export from GameEye or Charting Price or whatever like that, right? You can export and import it. Or if you got your own spreadsheet, I'm one of those anal dudes that I track things through spreadsheets. My buddy from Glenn's Retro Show, he had a spreadsheet. So I said, hey, send me that, right? He uploaded it, send it to me. And I took that and we can import that, right? And do the matches. We have a great partnership that allows us. We're trying to get some inroads to include homebrews and LRG games in there. Right. So, and we also do take requests, because we've had some people that are sitting there and saying, I have this variant, right, that's really obscure, or I have this homebrew. You know, Reggie, I know like John Riggs makes some homebrew games. I got a buddy of mine out here. I sponsor Midwest Gaming Classic almost every year, and that's going to be in a couple of weeks. And we sponsor through JLS Gaming. We always sponsor the Future Game Classics, and that's people that are making new games for the NES. Right, mainly, right. So one that's awesome is and you can watch. I did the unboxing and I had the developer on there for Dungeons and Doom Nights. It just became I think it hit the eShop and Steam just recently too. But that had a physical gold cart, dudes. That has a physical gold cart like the old Nintendo, and the nostalgia. He even did, and you know, his name is Adam, right? Shout out to Adam. You know, he did an awesome, even a magazine as part of the Kickstarter when he did it, which is called Pretendo, and it's a picture of him dressed like Simon Belmont from the Nintendo Power 2 with the head that supposedly freaked out a lot of little kids. I love that. That cover. It was iconic to me when I was little, and I received it in the mail. But
the good old days, they didn't care about freaking out kids. That's just what it was. There are tons of stuff like that.
They didn't care, right? They got Dracula's head, right? Just holding it on a cover of Nintendo Power Episode 2. So he recreated that. And that's what we're trying to recreate. We're trying to recreate the nostalgic feels, but give people, like you were saying, Fixie, give people the games that they want, right? The games that, so even if you wanted to trick the system and you wanted to sit there and say, I don't want Barbie, right? Even though I want all these Game Boy Color games, if you sit there and you put it that it's in your inventory, the algorithm is not going to match you with a game. We're not just going to send you random games in a box that you're disappointed in. And I've received $100 boxes from these places one, and I forgot to unsubscribe, and I received another box in the mail, and I put them in a spreadsheet and I totaled them up. I even bought some of those mystery boxes from GameStop that they have. I forgot what they were called, like junk. This is junk box or something like that. And those were crap and disappointing. And you're opening it and you're like, ah. So I just wanted to recreate the whole nostalgia, but also have games that people want, that people, if they're looking to collect or looking to play, you will get that in that box and you can play. And then last thing, a point I'll make on this, a lot of people have been able to share that with their kids, which is something that, so I got a buddy of mine that creates my marketing art for GG Retro Box, and I went to high school with him, and I told him, I said, hey, what? He's telling me, he's like, yeah, I just got my kid into Wii and everything like that. So I said, yo, I'll send you a box so you can see, you can experience it yourself, and then see if you want to work with us. And he's the one, shout out to Old School Gamer Magazine, he's the one that did our advertisement that's in Old School Gamer Magazine. So, and he loved it, man. He was like, dude, this is amazing. Thank you guys so much. And he was able to, I threw in some Mario, some old, I think it was Mario Galaxy, like Mario Galaxy in there and some of the other games. And he was able to sit there and play those games, relive his kind of nostalgia, but then play those games with his boy. And I think that's amazing. His 9 or 10-year-old boy.
Wow.
Well, I had one more question. I'm really intrigued by it. It seems like a really fun idea. How do you go about, a lot of collectors are really anal and OCD about having things complete and in really good condition and things like that. How do you go about separating those people from people who are happy to get loose carts or loose discs and things like that?
So, no, that's a great question, right? So one of the things that we pride on is satisfaction for the boxes, right? So if somebody reaches out to us and everything like that, we will make it right. If that means, you know what I'm trying to say, and we do special requests, but we try to keep the price point. So some of the stuff with those collectors, what they want. So long story short, the stuff we put in the boxes, it's quality because we're not procuring the stuff. So a lot of stuff is CIB sealed. We really some carts are loose, but even carts that we've done with that are loose, it's loose with the Manny and the Manny crispy, right? We don't send out junk, but if something slipped through the QA process, right? We would make it right with that person. And there's a bunch of ways we would do that, Figsy, without sitting here saying a method that people would start trying to fraud us. You know what I'm saying? We would definitely make it right. We aim to make it right. We have the options in there where, again, people can kind of request it, where they can tell us and we can kind of one-off. It's sort of like the hidden menu at what is that, In-N-Out Burger or something like that, right? That you can get these
animal style,
special fries. Yeah. So we got like hidden features in there that we can put where somebody, if they're that hardcore, they can give us a special request. We just want CIB and we'll code it on the back end, right? It's not optimal. So those 10, 15 users that we have like that, we'll do it like that. And then you got to remember too, that people like that, their box would come in, great looking box, brand new box art. This makes it awesome where you could put it on a shelf this way, or you could put it in your background that way, right? Where we can sit there and but you'll probably get one game, right? If the value of that game is, secret sauce for us is we make sure that the total value of the box is more than what people paid for it. So if somebody went to any of the pricing, right, if they wanted to go themselves with a spreadsheet and go to eBay and see eBay sold, if they wanted to go to charting price, if they wanted to go to GameEye or anything like that, right, the box would be worth more than what they paid. And that's not counting, it's free shipping too. That's not counting the cool ass box art, man. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't want to throw these away.
Nope.
Those other competitors, you throw away that cardboard. You don't want to throw away this cool, high quality box art with the cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so, but our aim is to make sure that we please that we take all the feedback that we get from people to Figsy, and that's one thing we encourage and we incorporate it in there because I'm a big believer, even in all the businesses and the products that I do, in Burger King, right? Have it your way right away, right? Or Fubu, for us, by us. So I like to think I'm a collector. I collect things, CIB. I go for quality. I wouldn't give someone else crap
Right.
at all.
Yeah,
We test
I
the
do love
games.
that you have those options. Like, I resell games as well, and I resell anything that works, and I'll resell it as the condition it's in. And most people are happy that they just want to play things. But then I know that I've got an audience that they're hardcore collectors, and
Yes,
they
sir.
want things in certain conditions. So it's a completely different audiences. So I do like that you have those options as well. I know I ask because most people watching are going to be hardcore collectors, and I myself, I've seen mystery boxes on eBay, and I've seen things before, and I like to see my games and look at every photo and ask for more photos. And it scares me to buy something unseen. So it's nice to hear that, it's coming from a collector. It's not coming from just someone who's trying to make money.
And I've been burned before. Like I've been burned where I buy something CIB and I'm buying it to put it on a shelf, right? Because at the end of the day, and I have to organize my display case and stuff like that. And then I will open it like 2 years later. And then I'm like, crap, did they, and again, I have a potty mouth. Did they jizz on this damn manual? Why are all the pages stuck together, man? Like, what the hell? Were they jizzing? Because, that happened to one of my Zeldas, man. So now I'm sitting there like, oh, man, I got to get a replacement Zelda. I didn't realize it until 2 years later. I don't even know who I bought it from. It probably doesn't even show up on eBay, or Mercari is another place that we want to aggregate prices from. I bought it from Mercari, but I did an unboxing video. And as I'm doing the unboxing video on it, because I like to do retro unboxing series, the pages were stuck together. I'm like, how the hell do pages get stuck together on an 80s NES game manual? Like,
right. That reminds me of something. I bought something off eBay.
Explain that one.
The smoke-free home thing. I didn't understand what that meant. I was like, why did everybody have to write smoke-free home? And then I bought this game called Azure Dreams for the Game Boy Color. And then I found out what they mean by that, man, because I had no idea like these items could be like jacked up with the smell like smoke, like just integrated in the box or whatever like that. It was so nasty. I remember I had to get the smell out of there. I had to wrap that thing up in the little fabric dryer things, wrap them up in a bunch of those for like a week before that smell went away. But it was strong and nasty. I was like, how the hell did they do this, man? Like, it's like they must have been windows closed, smoking all the time for that to be like in the box like that. It was insane.
Just smoking in the same room that the games are in.
You just continue smoking or whatever like that. But hey, I know we probably had the quiz coming up pretty soon. I just want to ask everybody this, man. Our nostalgia is being taken away from us, and what I mean by that is physical media is disappearing. I just want to get everybody's see what you guys think about the whole thing with physical media disappearing. Of course, Best Buy, they're clearing out all their games and their DVDs, Blu-rays, all that stuff. I mean, how are you guys feeling about that? Do you guys feel like I don't know. It's really kind of tough for me to bring it up because I can't imagine going to a store and know there's no physical games being there or physical media, because that's what I mostly buy at these stores. So now that that's gone, I mean, how do you guys feel about it? It's starting to go. How do you guys feel about that? And Will, I want to start with you.
It's so great stuff, right? Because I think, and I was kind of saying a little bit about it with Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, right? I bought the deluxe version that comes with Remake, right, and Integrate, and I have Remake and Integrate on the PS4, the collector's edition. I have the PS5 physical version, right? I have the physical versions. I have in the background back there, you see over my shoulder, I have God of War, Jortner still sealed and everything like that. I played through it digitally, right? The God of War. I have 2 God of War controllers, one that I played with and one that I kept sealed. So I think it's going to be like, and we were talking earlier about, let's say, the X-Men car and how it was manual. And that's something where there's no manual cars no more. So when we were coming up, right, people would sit there and be like, oh, you drive an automatic car, you're a loser. You're not really driving the car. The car is driving itself, right? And it's like, now, I drive a Tesla that literally drives itself, but it's not, but it's still fast as all hell, right? I have a Model S, and it ends up being, so the analogy I'm trying to make there is you actually pay more now. If there's any cars out there that actually come manual, you pay more for manual.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was cheaper to get a manual car. It was more to get an automatic car.
Right.
So what I think now is we're going to be the ones, we're going to be that 5%, because I believe the numbers are staggering. That's why they're getting rid of physical media, because we have to kind of blame it on the younger generations and blame it on some of the people that are just like, I don't want to swap this. I don't want this. I just want to play the games, that are buying all of this stuff digital because the revenue and the numbers show digital. But we're going to be the ones that they're still going to target collector games to. LRG is still going to be selling games to us. The collector's edition, which Reggie, I was saying, I wanted to get my hands on, but it was too late. The $250 Final Fantasy VII Remake. I own like 20-something different copies of Zelda. I bought it on the Wii shop. I bought it on the 3DS shop. I bought it on the Wii U shop when they gave me the discount because I owned it on the Wii shop, right? Mm-hmm. And I can't play them now. So the digital thing, you're going to lose it and the retention, but I do have a physical copy there. I'm a big Marvel vs. Capcom. My main machine is Marvel vs. Capcom. I have an arcade one up in my office. So yeah, I put the arcade one up, Marvel vs. Capcom, in the office. It's my favorite game, right? But if I play an emulation, right, but I own it. I actually own it on the iPhone. If y'all remember, it came out on the iPhone years ago. They never updated it to 64-bit, so you can't re-download it and play it. So this is the thing you have with digital copies versus physical, is they strip it from you. And didn't Sony just remove a lot of Discovery digital content that people actually paid for? That's the craziness to me. So I think with us, we'll still get physical to appeal to us, because now we're the people with disposable income that'll pay top dollar, that they can sit there and say, we'll press a couple of CDs for Reggie, Joe, Figsy, and Will, because they're going to pay top dollars, because we'll sit there and buy a Jotner edition that takes up space. I can't put it anywhere. And I'm like, I'm torn, because I believe it's not even worth the $250 I paid for it when it came out, even though it's sealed. I think it went down about it.
It's funny because with physical media, and me and like Figsy and Joe talked about this, with digital media, they could take it away from you at any time, which we've already seen. But with physical, you have control. They want to. I feel like they want to take away control, because a lot of stuff with physical media, movies as well, is that they're taking certain scenes or episodes out of certain series and everything like that. Like, oh, this episode's inappropriate. We're going to take this one out and remove it. But if you owned it on DVD or Blu-ray or something like that, you would have access to that episode or whatever like that. So I feel like they're trying to pick and choose what they want us to see, even though like a series something like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, was a series that was funny for its time, and still it's funny. But somebody today is like they get what's the word I want to use? They feel a certain way about it, and they say, oh, that episode is harmful, take it away. And these guys will cater to that type of stuff, and it's a crazy thing. So that's why I always feel like physical media is the way to go. But it's just scary that they're taking away from us. And I don't know. That's all I have to really kind of say about it for now.
And they bundle it. They bundle physical with digital, or where you still have to download the content, which is messed up, right? So that Jotner edition doesn't come with a physical God of War, right? It comes with a replica, whatever, Thor's hammer and stuff like that. But it comes with a code, right? It comes with a code that 10 years from now, I know Joe and Figsy are going to talk, but I'll pull something in my collection that's one of my gems in my collection that I'll explain to you guys too, how it's affected that and the value in that.
Yeah, I won't say much more that Will didn't cover, because practically everything that Will said I completely agree with. Like, physical media for us isn't going away, and I want to prove that with news that I wanted to show you guys today. And just got announced that limited run games are doing Far Cry 3.
Whoa! Yes, finally! I love that.
Which
Dixie, man, you always bringing the good news.
it's instant money, and this was free on any copy of Far Cry 3 you bought back in the day, but it was a download code, so getting a physical copy. And I feel like anything that we ask for, as long as the licenses can get approved, they'll print. And we like, look, 500 people want this one game. We got it approved. Let's do it. However, we're going to see less and less new games, AAA games, and like that. I'm taking the approach that there's that much stuff out there that I want to collect, and I feel like the last few years have just been insane with the PS4, the Switch, the PS5, like how many releases have come out. That I'm content that I can collect for 10 years still of just stuff that's already out there, and I'm not going to run out of things to buy. And if games want to come out that are brand new, then I'll pirate them or do the cheeky way to play them, because I'm not going to pay $100 to play a game that I don't own. So
I know that's right.
Yeah, that's definitely right. So that's the biggest thing for me. Even collecting physically has like lost a lot of its fun to me, because it's not what's on the disc and what's on the cart is just irrelevant. Right. Like how many, it's like everyone's like, oh, Baldur's Gate 3 got a physical release. Isn't that great? I'm like, yeah, there's like 10 gigs of data on the disc, and it's like 100 gig download for that game. You're not getting the game on the disc or whatever. Like any game that's like that, if it's not all on the disc, if it's not all on the cart, it's irrelevant. You're just making yourself feel like you have a physical product, but you don't. Right. So like if it's and not all games are like that though. So I think that's kind of like people use that as a don't buy anything physically type argument. But I'm just more and more like, as time goes on, focused on what is on the disc and what am I buying. And those are the games that I'm actually buying and collecting. And as time goes on, the more I go through my collection and I play games that that require 50 gigs updates, and I'm going to sell that crap off because I don't want that long term. I want to keep the games in my collection that just play out of the box. So, I mean, it depends on what they do. Like, even just as irritating as like the Rebirth just came out with a performance patch for Final Fantasy. I'm in the middle of playing the game and it's got a patch to make it better now. And I'm like, oh, great. Now you've made my physical copy. I feel like even like more doo-doo. Like these day one patches and the crap. Like I don't know. It's like an illusion to me. So as time goes on, more and more, I'm going to buy older games. That's what I'm going to do. Like I'm going to start. There's more PS3, PS2 games to buy. Like I don't have any Dreamcast games. I could start collecting that. Like my time and energy and money is going to go into experiences and games that I own, because I just don't want to support. I am at the point where I refuse to financially support shit that I don't like and I don't agree with anymore. I am done with it. Yeah. No movies, TV show. Like all these companies trying to milk me for money. Like, hey, look at this is the favorite thing you saw from your kid. No, dude, you're not getting any of my money. I'm not falling for it anymore. I'm done. You're not doing it. You're not rebooting any more franchises. I'm not playing any more of these games. I'm done with it all of it. I'm taking my money and I'm not giving it to these people anymore because they're saboteurs. They're ruining everything. They've ruined movies. They've ruined games. They've ruined TV. I'm done. Like all these people, screw you. I'm going to take my money and I'm going to go play PS2 games. That's my plan for the future. And you can keep your digital wasteland, because I'm not paying a subscription for anything. Like I'm sick of this whole like Nintendo, like they pay us forever to play Nintendo. No, dude, I'm not paying you forever to play Nintendo games and Game Boy games. Go to hell. No, and I don't even think the online services aren't even worth it anymore. I'm canceling all those. Like the digital future sucks, and I'm just cashing out, dude. So that's literally where I'm at with it.
You're a smart man.
That's it. And I'll get shmups on Steam Decks. That's what I'll pay for. I will pay for like little indie developers who can't afford to get I don't mind supporting people like that.
Yep.
Little $5 games, I'll buy those all day long. I just bought a ton that were on sale. But like, I don't know. I'm not supporting these AAA companies anymore. They suck. They just want to milk me and they want to use me as a money pig. They want to be like, oh, play the game, get the season pass, buy the skins, buy this, play the online pass, upgrade your thing, blah, blah. Oh, guess what? the new game came out. We're taking everything away from you that you paid for. Ha! Screw you. Do it all over again. Ha ha ha.
That's
No,
kind
dude,
of the way they sound too.
go to hell. Like, I am so
That's a
over
board
this.
meeting.
It's like, it's basically what it is I feel like these are like aliens who are come down to like, how do we suck the life out of all the human beings and make them enjoy and trick them into enjoying they love. I'm not tricked. You haven't tricked me. This sucks. What you're trying to do sucks. I don't like. So I'm done with any online service games. Like none of it. Even Helldivers 2. I heard it's the great. Fuck that shit. I'm just saying I'm not playing it. I'm not playing no online games that I go to hell. I'm not buying it. Anything that requires online connection, I'm not buying it. Download to play it, I'm not buying it. Day one patches, I'm like checking out. Like if I don't get quality products finished on the disc and on a cart, you're not getting my money.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna sell it, or I'm getting it for cheap. I'm gonna wait till it's $5. I'll buy it for $5. You ain't getting no $70. I'll tell you that. Like I'm the patient man. So you'll see a bunch of games that I bought. I'll be like, what are you talking about? I bought all these games on sale. I waited. I got them on Woot. I got them cheap. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, you know, and you know, well, you'll see what I bought. I buy a lot of the low print stuff because it is complete on the cart. Supposedly, most of it is.
Yeah, I was shocked when I was about to buy Diablo 4, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't wait to play this game." Everybody's telling me about it, and it said online connection required. I was like, "Wait a minute, this is single player too. You know what's going on?" And then I just said you have to be online at all times while you play that game, whether you're playing single player or not. I was like, forget it, no way.
Even games that aren't online only, like I'm playing Elden Ring again at the moment. And every single time I boot up the game, it loads the PlayStation Plus menu to buy it, and you have to like manually close that menu. And it doesn't just load the first one. Like if you just hit X, it has the $100 option.
Wow.
Like fuck off! I just want to play my game.
There should be a way to turn that off, but that's annoying as hell. Every time you turn it on, you got to see that.
Yeah. Like no, I'm clearly playing it without help. I'm just playing it by myself. Leave me alone. Well, Joe, we'll get into your pickups soon, but before pickups, I think we've got a Figsy quiz to get into it. So you guys are ready for some quiz action?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, we do have a question for Chad as well, so everyone watching can play along. So, Chad, here's your question for the week. And we have 6 pictures here. We need you guys to name the video game from these photos.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Good luck, guys.
So
Later on, think about that one. We'll get into the quiz. All right, now this will be similar to the last couple of episodes where you guys are going to have to guess the gaming franchise, and I'm going to give you hints, and we're going to take turns in getting hints. Joe will get a hint, Reggie will get a hint, and then we'll get a hint. And after each of your hint, you guys can take a turn on guessing the series. First person to get it will get a point.
Okay.
So do I get to get a hint and then I get to guess after my hint?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right, bear with me 1 second. Get into the first one.
Hold on 1 second. I got
Let's get the bathtub running.
I'll bring Chat's question up again just while waiting for Reggie to come back.
I think I know what it is. But there's a lot of pictures, so no.
I know when it's 6, it can be anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, you ready to play?
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right, we're getting to the first one. First clue, and this one is for Joe. Working title. Working title for the first game was Project Kids.
Oh,
The working title was Project Kids.
Yep.
like Project Kids, like kids from the projects, or Project Kids, like
No, it's just
project.
Project Kids.
Because I was a project kid growing up, so I don't know. I didn't know we had any games like that, man, about the hood. But is that Mick Kids? Was that Mick Kids what it was called? Right? Because Mick Kids, I think, it was really supposed to be something else, and then got branded McDonald's or something.
Nope.
That's
So
my
that might be a
guess.
hint for you, Joe.
I passed. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
All right, that's not it. Going on the second clue, Reggie. This one's for you.
Okay.
On the PS1, this game was successful, going platinum, entering the greatest hits in the US, and entering the best of series in Japan.
Final Fantasy 7.
So it would have been Final Fantasy because we're doing full series. So it's not Final Fantasy.
Oh, damn.
All right, well, your clue is on the Vita. The main protagonist of this series was one of the playable characters in the 2012 PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale video game.
Shit.
So all the old clues apply for this as well.
Yeah. Now, I'll pass. The names
you got a
escape
bunch
me.
of-
I'm trying to
bunch of
think of
choose
the
from.
names. Yeah, of the roster now.
Mhm.
All right, moving on to the next round of clues. Joe, this one's for you. One of the games, actually, this is for the PS2. One of the games of the franchise was made for the PlayStation iToy.
I never had one of those. It was on PS1. It was on PS2. It was on the Vita. Project Kids. Seems like such an innocent name. It's probably going to be some crazy. It's going to be like friggin' Akiba Strip or something. It's so crazy. It's gonna, and he was Sackboy wasn't on. Yeah, so who's in that All-Star game? Shoot.
Everybody.
No kidding. I don't know, man. Pass. I don't know. I really don't.
All right, next clue for Reggie. On the PSP, there are 6 games for the PSP. One of them is a racing game. One of them is a RPG.
My goodness.
I'm going to go ahead and say Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer isn't the correct answer. But
Damn it, Pixie made it sound like I was going to be right, man.
not say Ridge Racer. All right, well, next clue. And this clue is called Last. The last game of the series is a rail shooter genre released for the PS3 in 2010.
Is it? I mean, no, I don't know. I was gonna say Final Fantasy as well, but no, because now you have me thinking rail shooter. Yeah, I think whatever that Vincent Valentine game was, or something like that. But I don't know. I'll pass.
All right, moving on to the next.
Because I think Cloud was on All Stars. I think Cloud was in All Stars too. That's why I'm trying to think it through out loud. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's how to do it. That's how to do it. All right, Joe. Solid Snake guest appearance was in the 3rd game of the main series.
This is one I know. So,
6 games on the freaking PSP for this, and I can't think of this. This is ridiculous. This is like obviously some insanely popular series, and this is driving me crazy. Project Kids. Snake was in it. Ugh. Is it some fighting game? I was thinking it's like a fighting game, obviously. But
it's an easy one too. It's a popular
rival
one.
schools? I don't fucking know, dude.
What?
I have no idea.
That's an unpopular fighting game.
Not rival schools. All right, Reggie. Next clue.
Okay.
You can play a mini game with one of the game characters in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake.
Yeah, that game is called. I think that game ended up being called Nano Breaker or something like that for PS2.
Thinking of the
Minigame,
wrong game. It's not Nano Breaker. That's not the
Oh,
series.
I thought it was.
The game's dope.
I thought that was the game that because Snake has a dream in the game, this weird nightmare, and it's actually a demo for a game coming out. And I thought it was Nano Breaker, but Figsy, you tricked me again.
All right, moving on to the final clue. Well, this one's for you. So this series is the first game to use the DualShock controller.
I know this one too.
No, now I know it. God damn it.
Is it? I'm just gonna throw this out there. Is it Metal Gear then?
No.
Not Metal Gear. You guys both know it, and you both say it at the same time. I'll give you half a point each.
Okay, you ready, Joe?
Yeah, right.
1,
Two,
2, 3.
The Ape Escape.
Ape Escape.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
I knew with the DualShock, I knew that little tidbit. That's the only reason
Yeah.
I knew it. And then I knew that now that you mention it, there is that PS3 game that was a weird ass game. But I didn't know Metal Gear freaking. I didn't know
Snake was in it, man.
Snake was in it, and I definitely didn't know there was 6 PSP games.
We got
Oh
the
my
RPG,
goodness.
the racing title. On
This was
PSP.
the toughest quiz ever.
In
Why do you
Metal
call
Gear
it Project Hit?
What the hell is this? I didn't know there was an 8. What the
What
hell?
the?
Whoa, whoa,
Come
whoa!
on, man. How do you do Snake like
Oh
that?
man!
Now that helmet takes on a whole new meaning, man.
oh man!
And then on the iToy for the PS2.
They need to bring Ape Escape back, man. That was a fun series.
Yeah, it was. It's good stuff.
But like Sony, with all their series, they just all have died and they've forgotten about them. You know. All right, moving on to the
There
second
was an
franchise.
RPG. I didn't know it was an RPG for Ape Escape. Kind of.
Yeah, see, some of the clues, like it was a Japanese title. You know, it was a bit of a throw-off clue, that one.
I know. In my mind, Ape Escape's like 4 games total.
Moving on to the second franchise. Reggie, you're going to start first this time. We'll go second. Joe, you'll go third.
Okay.
First clue. Dreamcast. The Dreamcast version of the franchise was a North American exclusive.
All right. North American exclusive for Dreamcast. I'm going to say. I mean, that's the hint?
Yep.
Man. So let's stick with. Well. Exclusive on the Dreamcast, so that could be a mini games though. That could be like stuff by Sega itself.
Yep.
Is there multiple answers to it?
That's just one series.
There's one
Yeah,
series.
you want to
okay,
pass it
series.
now unless you know.
You're not
it.
meant to get it on the first clue.
No, a series. You know, it's 2 games then, so that helps.
But
I
they
want
might not
to
be all on the Dreamcast either. It could just be 1 game in the Dreamcast, 1 game on the PlayStation, 1 game on it's like a franchise.
I'll go with Project Justice then.
Not Project Justice.
Figsy.
All
Yeah,
right,
you're
well.
just guessing a Dreamcast exclusive at this point.
I mean, yeah.
I know.
pretty much.
Okay.
So, next clue for the Sega Saturn. The first game of the series with official internet support was released on the Sega Saturn.
Oh man! And the first hint was it's a North America exclusive
For the Dreamcast, yep.
for the Dreamcast. Crap. I'll throw a wild one out there. I'll just say like the 2K series, but I'll pass. I just think because I don't think they don't have the NFL in Japan. That's
No,
why.
I like
But-
that. I like the where you're going with that.
It just hurts more when Figsy says you're
I'll
wrong,
pass.
man. It's like, ugh. Like I'd rather pass and hear Figsy say I'm wrong on it.
All right.
Yeah.
So, next one. The last game of the series was released in 2023 for the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, the Switch, and PC.
I think I actually know this. Is it House of the Dead?
Not House of the Dead.
Ooh.
Oh, come on! That was
Yeah,
everything. Come on! That was a good question. Was that even on the Saturn though? It was, right? Was that the only way? That was
Did
a
it have
good
internet support though?
guess. I don't know. Probably not. Why would you even need it? That makes no sense. You're right.
All right, Reggie. This next clue for the OG Game Boy. The 1990 Game Boy version of this game has 3 different titles in Japan, North America, and Europe.
You mean like, yeah, like
Double
it's a different
Dragon.
region?
Different name.
Okay.
Double Dragon 2.
Not Double Dragon 2. All right, well, next clue. From the years 1997 to 1998, there were 12 different game titles released.
Holy crap.
These are some tough ones, man.
12 in 2 years. I mean, I'll pass. I don't even want to take a wild guess and be told no. You're wrong.
Can't be wrong if you pass. All right, Joe. For the N64, first game in the series to fully utilize 3D graphics was made for the N64.
It's an easy one.
So the series wasn't 3D until it was on the N64.
That's easy. You know you got that one.
There's quite a few. I'm trying to think of the online support thing. Like, there's all these weird things. Like, what would you need online support for? Like a fighting game, online shooter. You would need it for RPGs, maybe racing. Dude, I don't know. Pass.
All right, next clue, Reggie.
Yeah.
For the Xbox, the Xbox 360 game title was panned by critics and fans. It's also considered one of the worst video games ever made.
I think I know now.
No pressure.
For regular Xbox?
For the 360.
For 360, probably is it Xbox exclusive is what you're saying.
It just says the 360 game title was panned by critics and fans.
Okay.
And is considered one of the worst video games ever made.
Damn. Jeez, man.
I'm not sure if it was exclusive, but I think it was.
I'm gonna go with Not Human for 360. Dang.
All right. Well, moving on to numbers. There are more than 80 game titles in the series in different genres.
What the fuck?
See, now I think I know because
This is 80?
going back to the N64 one. Is it Bomberman?
Correct answer is Bomberman.
See, is this wow?
There's 80
Finally.
of those games? Good God.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
there's so many of them.
Yeah,
The Saturn
I
one
was gonna say
is the best.
Sonic.
This is the
I was gonna
Look
360.
at that
Sonic.
Bomber Run. That's the crazy one right there. They try to make it more modern. Oh, that's a Bomberman game on the bottom left. Wow, I didn't know that.
And we didn't get to some of the clues, but we had one of the Virtual Boy Bombermans. And I think this was
What the hell is that?
this was the original European cover art for Bomberman.
What the
Turned
hell?
into Bomberman.
Didn't they say something like?
Why is Indiana Jones standing on those people? None of them in the right spot. Let's look at that picture again. That made no sense.
No, that clue would have thrown us way off.
And the floaters. That's not what a floater looks like. At least I've never had that one in my toilet. I've never. All right, sorry.
All right, we've got a third game series to get.
Yeah. Wait a minute. With the Bomberman thing, I was going to say something. Isn't it supposed to be canon that he's essentially also the guy that was the character in Lode Runner or whatever like that? Like that's some rumor or something like that they were saying Hudson Soft.
I don't know.
That's why that's the crazy thing. They were saying like the
See that?
hidden ending is he's a Lode Runner guy.
That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know enough about it to answer. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
You would have nailed it though. Hudson Soft was one of the clues as well. So.
Yeah, if you would have said that, I would have thought, I would have been like, okay, because I love the TurboGrafx 16, and that's where I think I first played Bomberman games.
Is there another one?
All right, so we're going to move on to the final series.
Oh, good.
Now, this one's going to be a little bit different on how you're going to get the answers.
Okay.
So, Will, you're going to start. I'm going to show each of you's one photo, and it's going to be a clue of one word behind it. The photo doesn't have anything to do with the game, but each of the words all have something to do with the game, if that makes sense. Okay, so the first clue is desert.
I'll take a wild guess and say Prince of Persia.
Not Prince of Persia. All right, Joe. Second clue is jungle.
I don't understand what we're doing.
So you've got two clues now: desert and jungle. They both relate to the series.
Oh, so this is some abstract bullshit thing. I have to think about what game has a desert and a jungle in it. Lion King.
Not the Lion King. All right, next one for Reggie is urban.
Oh, I know it now. Dang it.
Jeez, I still don't have any of it. I was gonna say Desert Strike, but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm bad at these ones.
You want to say Desert Strike?
Yeah, let's say Desert Strike. It's fine.
No,
Desert
that's right.
Strike is correct.
Yeah,
That was the correct answer.
Nice.
Oh, I thought I was wrong.
Well,
I gotta
there
be
was
more
jungle,
confident.
urban,
For
and
the
desert.
Strike series, so it was
Yeah.
Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, Urban Strike.
Okay, I was
and
all right.
Soviet
Good.
Strike, and Nuclear.
Ah, nice.
Well, I thought Desert Strike from the first picture. That's what my answer would have been on the first picture with the Mario Kart.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, at the end of that, guys, the scores ended up Joe on 0.5 point, Will on 1 point, but today's winner on 1.5 points goes to Reggie. Well done, Reggie.
Yes, that's how we do it.
Now, we did have Chat's question. Did anyone correctly answer Chat's question? I'm going to quickly scroll through. And yes, we do have a correct answer. And the first one to correctly answer it was Speed Killer 3000 with the Legends of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. Well done.
Congrats.
Nice. We have the Legend, Heroes, Trails of Cold, and then Steel. That one's cool. Thanks for playing Fixie's quiz, guys. Let's see. That was fun.
Right on. It was a tough one. Man. Whew.
Before we get into our pickups, I just had a little bit more news to share. This mainly concerns collectors in Australia, as this has been happening in North America for a long time. But usually with fake Pokemon games, they haven't really surfaced in Australia at this point. I know fake American Pokemon games have been going around for a long time. Fake carts, fake boxes. But this surfaced up on eBay this week. It's pretty hard to see, but a person who bought this owned the copy on the left from when they were a kid. And they bought the copy on the right off eBay for a lot of money. Anyway, it turned out to be a fake copy. It's pretty hard to see. I'll show you guys the back. You can sort of notice on the back it is a different color. And that's basically as much you can tell. The front looks the same. So I just want to make people aware that there are now fake Australian PAL copies of Pokemon Blue.
Just kind of
yellow out there.
it makes me happy that I actually knocked out a lot of that kind of stuff early before the repros started coming out and everything like that. Because I couldn't imagine you pay top dollar and it's not real. It's just that feeling must be just horrible, you know. And I don't have a problem with stuff being marketed as repro, you know, whatever like that. But when you try to market it as the original, it just takes the value away from, you know, the ones out there. It just sucks that people are doing that, man.
Once these games go to a certain price and technology is out there to reproduce them, floodgates
it'll happen.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
I think the same. Yeah, I think the same thing happened with the Rule of Rose too.
Yeah, so I do have a little bit of an update. I haven't got the full update yet, but I've been added to a group of people that there are people who think it is a reprint. The sellers saying that they were found in like a box in Italy. They all have the Italian. So, you know, Italian games have the sticker on the front.
Right.
These are all UK copies. They've all got the Italian sticker on them. Like something weird is going on. A lot of people think it's a scam. A lot of people think it was reprinted. Just people are like, what's going on with Rule of Rose in our region right now? So I'll update you guys as I find out more information. But yeah, right now, don't know for sure. It might be real. It might be a reprint. It might be old stock. It might be fake. So take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Wow.
I ain't buying a $1,000 game till they figure it out.
Yeah, I know.
Who would like to go first this week?
All right.
I got a lot of stuff. So however you want to do it.
I'll go first. I haven't got much.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah, Biggsy, go first.
Now I haven't got any pickups. I've been showing you guys my entire PS1 collection. We are into the letter S now. This one's pretty cool. So here we have Scars. It's S.
I like that game.
A. R. S.
I actually bought that recently. That was a game I played. I never played it before, and I played it on emulation, and I was like, "This game's dope." And I bought it. It was like $10. I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Joe, you know what that game reminds me of?
Animal Racing Simulator.
What?
The name reminds me of that MTV show called Scarred, when the skateboarders get crashed and get all the crazy accidents. Remember that show on MTV? It was crazy.
Notice that the power copy too, you've got every single language on the back, which makes it like unreadable without a magnifying glass.
Yeah, dude, the name Supercomputer Animal Racing Simulators. This is stupidest freaking name ever. Like, oh, guys.
Now, here we have a cool one. Here we have Shadow Man.
So, Shadow Man on the PS1 is rough.
Graphics look amazing.
No, bro. No, bro. I'll be honest with you. That is one of the few games that I would honestly recommend the N64 version over. That's one of the few ones. I think the N64 version is better than the PS1, and that's
I don't actually think I've
rarely the case. I would say that.
Yeah.
An absolute classic today. And rest in peace to the legend, Shane Warne, Cricket 99.
The hell is Cricket?
This is a real Aussie game. I think this is an Australian. It was in Australia.
Is that like you wrestle wallabies or something?
It's like baseball, but the version the rest of the world play.
No, I'm just joking.
Right, next time we have a fun one. I haven't got the sticker off, and I've attempted it, as you can see by the corner. Here we have Shrek's Treasure Hunt. No prizes for guessing how much I paid for this one.
I love the PAL cases.
Price I want to pay. I love them as well. They're awesome. But because they're so fragile, I really have to really work on this sticker with some love. So do it one day. Here we have an underrated title that you guys probably haven't heard of before. It's one that no one talks about for the PS1. It's Silent Hill.
I never heard of it.
Cool. We got the PAL cover.
The PAL cover looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks cool. I think that's a scarier looking cover than the one we got.
Yeah, because it's actually showing a list of like laid out pretty much. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
I got
bloody
pretty lucky
corpse.
with this. I wanted it forever, like everyone. You know, you get into collecting, you need the big hitters, and I didn't want to pay what it was worth. And one day, I was just browsing eBay, like new listings and new PS1 listing, Silent Hill, $100. It was like a brand new eBay seller, and it was one of those listings where they had like the default settings on, like the $8.95 postage, and just all basic defaults. I'm like, yep, this person has no idea what they're doing. Got a cheap copy. It's about $250 over here, so I got it for about half price.
Okay, right on.
I remember I bought that game for $40 and I thought I overpaid for it. I was like, oh, I can't believe I spent so much. Now I'm like, yes, thank God.
Here we have a fun one. This is a sled racing game called
That's a good game.
Storm. This is actually a lot of fun. Like,
Yeah, it's
I
good.
wouldn't say it's amazing today, but if you played it back in the day, it was so much fun.
That is a fun game.
Multiplayer, so you can play with 2 people. It's got 2-player on the back, but the screenshot is of 4 people playing. So don't know what's going on there. We have another Snow Racer here. I haven't actually played this one. It's in immaculate condition. Snow Racer 98. The case is like brand new. This is really cool. And the artwork on it looks great. I'll have to give this one a go. I love like SSX and all those snowboarding type games. So I'm sure this will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have the South Park game for PS1. I like the humor in South Park games, from the old ones to the new ones. I think they're cruel but not crude. They're really funny. They don't really hold up as the greatest games, but the humor holds up. And then 2 from the one series that I haven't played. We have Spec Ops Covert Assault and Spec Ops Stealth Patrol. I couldn't really comment anything on these ones. The graphics.
Move over, SOCOM. Spec Ops, this is.
I'll show you the graphics. They look terrible.
Ah, it looks fine. No,
I'll happily have them in the collection for cheap. I haven't slimmed my PS1 collection down because PS1 games in Australia are just so hard to come by. So whatever I can get, I practically take at this point for PS1 collecting. All right, guys, who am I handing it off to? Who would like to go next?
Will, you want to choose who goes next?
Yeah, go next, Reggie. Go ahead.
Me? All right, Will. I mean, all right. So
you just came back from an expo. This is gonna be a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. So funny story about this item I'm going to show you guys. These were gifted to me, but I almost lost them at the expo because you're carrying a lot of stuff. But I almost lost them on the way to the airport coming back home when I was packing the lift. I left these on the outside of the hotel, and luckily nobody saw them. I had to come back and get them, and they were still there, thankfully. But my buddy Elvis Roa gifted me one of my favorite games on the PS1, Resident Evil 3 vinyl. You guys can see that kind of.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
45, huh?
Yeah, so you got the Nemesis on the cover here and everything like that. Sorry about the glare and everything, but yeah, there's that. And the other one I got was from my friend Gordo. He gifted me Klonoa 2 vinyl. So I got both of these 2 new vinyl soundtracks to listen to, which I'm very happy about.
What a contrasting vibe. You got like the scary ass Nemesis, and then you get
Klonoa. Happy game, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I met the Sega Saturn Shiro guys there, and they got they're hardcore Saturn stuff. They're all about translations, talking about old school games. I mean, their channel is awesome, and they gifted me their magazine they have for the Saturn series. So I got that one of their first issues here.
Nice.
Looks nice.
Yeah, they got the Retrobit advertisement on the back, which is nice. I was like,
cool.
Dude, this is insane, man. So
it looks
very
quality,
happy about
nice paper and stuff. It looks nice.
Dude, it's on point, man. They really did a good job with these, man. I'm just really impressed. So
I've been really into gaming magazines lately. If you haven't been watching the show, I've been all about
Oh, really?
PlayStation magazines and stuff. Yeah, I'm looking into all. So it's a whole other world I didn't know about.
Mhm.
I knew people collected Nintendo Power, but there's all sorts of magazines out there.
So Saturn games. I got these actually came in the mail today. These are most of these are translations and everything. So here is Castlevania Symphony of the Night translated for the Sega Saturn. So a lot of people don't know the Saturn had its own version of Symphony of the Night that had extra stuff to it where you can play as Maria. There's extra room, extra boss, I believe, and all that stuff. And all of it's been translated in English, which is nice. And they fixed some issues that the Saturn version had. So this is nice to have. Comes with an instruction manual, press disc, and all that. Oh, I think the disc is pressed. I don't gotta look at it real fast, make sure it's. Oh, it's 2 disc. So yeah, this is deep.
I like
So
that
you guys
they chose the PAL artwork instead of the US artwork too for the cover. I think that looks really nice, dude.
There's a disc right there and everything.
Nice. That's nice.
I am not jealous at all right
Dracula
now,
X.
Reggie. Just so you know.
So I'm about to bust out the Saturn. And look at this. They add the advertisement for Suikoden on the Saturn because Suikoden came out on the Saturn.
Cool.
You know.
Do they sell that online? Do they sell that
The guy-
online, Reggie, or no?
The guy does here and there. Yeah, he does. He sells them. He's just not like he can't do too many of them because it's like hard. He's only one man that does it, and it's a lot of work. He said, but when he does, he'll do like 50 of them and everything like that. I'll give you his contact after we get out of here.
Okay.
And the next game here, keep it rolling here. I got Christmas Nights for the Sega Saturn. So Christmas Nights actually was released as a giveaway by Blockbuster, but now a lot of resellers are trying to sell that for too much. So he made me another one, but now it looks legit and everything like that. I could put a uniform with the rest of my games, so I'm happy about that. Then we got Mega Man X3 for the Saturn.
Nice.
This is awesome. I'm so happy to have this. I love Mega Man games. Yeah, it looks like Mega Man's about to throw a Hadouken and everything like that. It's pretty on point. So happy about that. Mega Man X3 is one of my favorites in the series, and the Saturn version is really good. So, and then the next game here we got Bulk Slash. I don't know too much about this game, but I hear good things about it.
Never heard of that
and they
one.
translated English, and it's another cool game to have on my Saturn. So basically, I'm going to bust out the Saturn here, probably in the next couple of days, and play some of these.
Bulk Slash. That was my porno name back in the 80s.
Oh, man. But now we're going to my. Yeah, but these are the games I got from the Game On Expo. So the first game I bought at the show was Metal Masters. Limited Run put this one out. I guess this is a reprint of the game because the regular game was so expensive. I don't know too much about it, but it was $20. So I said, yeah, let me go ahead and get that.
Yeah, you can't complain. The case itself would cost you $10 to buy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those cases aren't cheap.
And then Gunstar Superheroes. This is my second copy of the game because I think this copy is better than the one I have. One of mine says that one of the tabs is torn, so I always wanted to kind of fix that. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and get this, and I'll probably sell the one with the ripped tab later. But Gunstar Superheroes, I think it's better than Gunstar Heroes on the Genesis. I like this version the best. Next thing I got Owlboy for $50, the collector's edition at the show.
Oh, I need to get that. So
Yeah,
I have
Owlboy.
I got the full Sedesco set, except I'm missing that and the Tower of Guns collector's edition. I need both of them.
Yeah, and
but I want the
Owlboy,
PS4 one, obviously.
Yeah, that one's easier to get than this one, I believe. This one only cost $50. I was surprised the guy charged that cheap. I was like, hell yeah, I'll get that because I know it goes for at least double. But Owlboy is a Metroidvania game that was made by one guy. One guy created the whole game. It took him like 10 years, but he got it done. I don't know if I could do anything like that, work on a game for 10 years by myself. I'm like, hell no. I could be wrong about
having that
details,
idea that you just need to get it out there. Refuse help from anyone else. You need to do it yourself.
I know, right? This one was gifted to me, so Will, I think you're going to be able to appreciate this one, man. You like beat 'em up games like Final Fight, Double Dragon, and all that stuff, Streets of Rage. So in 1984, this movie came out. It's called Streets of Fire. And this is basically where all those games got their ideas from. This is like Final Fight, as a movie. Even the main character's name is Cody. And you got Diane Lane back before she got famous and everything like that. And matter of fact, I'm going to put this on tonight, man. Because matter of fact, let me put it over here so I don't forget. I'm gonna watch that tonight. Yeah, I'm 80s action is on point, man. We all know that.
Oh yeah,
so.
hell yeah, dude.
Man, it's made by the same guy who did the Warriors. So if you like the Warriors movie, you definitely like this. Walter Hill. What else I have here? Sorry, I gotta keep it moving because this is gonna be a minute. Everybody's still awake, right? You guys are good?
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I got Mail Mole Collector's Edition. It's about a mole who's on vacation that delivers mail. He gets called back into action, so I guess it's like a cute platform. I don't know why I bought this, man. I did a trade for it. That's why I got it, but I don't know, man. It looks funny, so I was like, let me go ahead and pick that up. Then we got
Hey, it might be good. Who knows?
I think it'll be good. And then we got Distraint Collector's Edition, which comes with both Distraint Part 1 and 2. And it's basically a game where you play as a character that has to like evict attendants out of your apartment building who don't pay rent. So people are coming up with all kind of excuses, why they can't pay, and you just got to evict them, and collect the money or whatever like that. So it's kind of like an evil, sad game. It really kind of plays like a trippy survival horror, but I don't know. I got to get more into it to give you more details. Then we got a shoot 'em up game here called Rigid Force Redux.
Nice.
This was at the show. Game Fairy. I thought they went. I thought they closed their stores, but I guess they're still around. Maybe, I don't know. But I did trade for this, so I got this out of the way. It's a cool shoot 'em up. Lots of talking in the beginning, which for me, I want to get to that. I want to be able to skip that stuff, and then if I want to look at it, do it later. But they make you listen to all of it. I'm like, man, let me get to the action. But still, it's a solid game. It's kind of like R-Type, I would say.
It's R-Type. That's gonna be rare in
then
the future. I don't think a lot of people know that thing exists at all, and it's a really nice.
I don't think they do either. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So then I got Guns and Runs for the Switch. So now I have it on the Switch as well as the PS4. A good running gun game. I got this PN03 for the GameCube. I decided to give it another chance. It's a weird GameCube game. Capcom put it out. It's exclusive to the GameCube. It's weird. I don't know when I'm going to try it out, but eventually I will. It'll be nice to have on the shelf when I do get ready to try it out, because I feel like luckily this game hasn't jumped up in price. I think it did for a while, then it jumped down, but yeah, I got it for a good deal at the show. Then this is a game I've been looking for a while for PS2, McFarlane's Evil Prophecy. It's a 4-player. I don't want to say like a gauntlet type game, but it's an adventure game, and it's kind of like Gauntlet. I guess it is kind of like Gauntlet in a way.
I love the cover, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's by
Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so he did the cover and everything like that. I
might check that out.
Yeah, it's on the cheap too, and so I got it at the show. Matter of fact, I got it at the show for free. We did a trade, so I got this one for free. It's good that when you go to these shows, you don't want to spend money. Bring trade. That makes everything great. So then I got Tunic.
Tunic.
It's
Tunic.
For the PS4. I thought it was a Switch exclusive, but it's like a top-down Zelda game. So you just play as a fox. So yeah, maybe move over to Zelda. Tunic's in town.
I think it was. I think Happy Console Gamer was talking about that game. I think he really liked it. Either that or his friend Rob did. I can't remember, but they were talking about that game. Said it was awesome. It looks really good. The graphics are awesome.
Okay, so I got Infernax for the Switch as well.
That's a good one.
Another solid game, classic. Then we got Soulstar, Shoot 'em Up for the Switch.
Nice. Really good one. That's actually a new shmup too, which is it's not like most of the shmups nowadays. It actually came out 20 years ago, and everyone's like, "Oh," I'm like, "That's a
this is actually a newer one."
Yeah,
and here is Joe's favorite game. He got it on the PS4 recently. You got Space Blaze for Switch.
Yeah.
Joe says one of the best shoot 'em ups he's ever played.
It's so not.
So that's
one of the most. It's very collectible. I would buy it if you want to collect shmups, but
I like Siberia. I think Siberia is a cool series.
Siberia is a really good series, man. 3 was a bit rough, but I still liked it, and I liked it enough to get it on the Switch so I could play it on the go. So Siberia 3. Then we got FX Yuki for the Genesis.
Nice.
So this is version 2 of the game. This one actually works on all versions of the Sega Genesis. The first version of this game only work on the high definition Sega Genesis, so this one is actually the better one to have. So happy to have that.
That's
Um,
isn't that your buddy Saru's game?
Yep. Saru, that game, and then we got Dudon Resurrection for the Switch, a great shoot 'em up by Cave.
Hard
We
as
got
hell.
It is a Leste collection. So happy to have that one. All the Leste games, like not Musha, but the games before Musha.
That was getting expensive.
Oh man, I
Leste.
know, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad I got this one for a good deal. Then we have a Rhapsody Chronicles for the Switch. This one on sale at GameStop for like I think $25. So I picked it up, and it's like it's an old school RPG by Nice America. I don't know if you guys remember Rhapsody for the PlayStation. It was a funny tactical game, but it wasn't much to it. It was like a good beginner game for people who want to get into like strategy RPGs, but it was way too easy. But the story, what will pull you in is how funny it was and the comedic humor the game had. So I always wanted the sequels to come out, but they came out like 20 years later for America, like in English. So I guess better late than never. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but I'll get to it eventually. And then
they re-released the first game on the Switch too. And
yeah, that's right. In that bundle collection. Yep, they sure did.
And VGP has it in stock right now. If anybody cares, they just restocked it. I'm actually going to order it. That's the reason I'm mentioning it, because I don't own it on PS1, and I own the new ones, and it's like bothers me. I don't have the first one, so I'm like, I'll just get the Switch one. Yeah, the PS1 copy is like $100-$150, man, and I'm like, dude, that game ain't worth it to me.
The PS copy comes with the English voice acting, comes with a soundtrack CD. Does the Switch version come with the English dialogue? Because the English dialogue is hilarious, man. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. It comes with another game on the cart, so I don't know. But I'm assuming.
Okay.
Definitely don't come with the soundtrack.
And then we got a Rolling Gunner for the Switch, the collector's edition. Now, just to let you guys know that Strictly Limited has put their store on Amazon on Amazon. So you can buy a lot of the collector's editions for cheap prices and everything like that. I'm doing a video about it pretty soon, but a pretty cool shoot 'em up. Seems very easy though. Like there's not really much challenge, at least with the first 3 levels. And then
there's 2 modes. There's a mode where you can you can shoot a huge bullet and clear out your bullets ahead of you, and then there's a mode where you can't do that. And the mode where you can't do that game is hard as hell. Like
it's hard. Okay, maybe I'm playing. Okay,
if you have the bullet clear, which is the I don't know, they call it the overpower mode or whatever. That's what that means. Super fun, but you turn that off, it's hard.
And then I got Neo Geo Pocket Color Select Volume 2 that came in the mail today. I got tricked into buying this, man, because it looked like it was a big collector's edition, but it ends up being something this small. I was like, you motherfuckers, man, like how you do that to us, man? Like,
I kind of like it because it fits on the shelf like that.
It's cool because it fits on the shelf. You're right. I just thought they made it look bigger, Figsy, the way they showed the picture of it. I'm like, man, you guys are getting me like that again.
Is it 2 cards or is it come with the first game?
It's a steel book for the second game. So you got the regular and then the steel book. So whatever you want to use. Next game here, Death Smiles Part 1 and 2, Strictly Limited. Death Smiles, a really good shoot 'em up game. If you like horizontal shoot 'em ups, definitely pick this one up. It's really good. Good music, good battles. All that good stuff. And then
they have a sale on Strictly Limited's website too, like on collector's editions, like 2 for $100 right now.
Oh, nice.
Something like that.
I'd be buying the ones that are in stock, but not the ones that are on pre-order.
Yes, the ones in stock. Don't pre-order anything right now.
And then
please buy the ones that are in stock. I want everyone to buy out their inventory so they have enough money to send me the games they owe me. So please, everyone buy those collector's editions.
I'm down to my last 3 items. I forgot how to pronounce this game. Promenade. Can y'all pronounce this one for me?
Promenade.
Okay, Promenade. This game. Promenade. This is the press kit. They sent me a press kit for the game with the game inside. So I was actually playing this a couple weeks ago. This is actually pretty cool. So you open this press kit up, man. You got the game inside, but it comes with this little, like, I guess this cute little plushie or whatever like that. It's cool. Soundtrack CD, and a bunch of like a little postcard stickers and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But Red Art sent that to me, man. So I'm gonna add it to my Red Art video when I do that, when that finally comes out. Where'd that other item go? So hold on, I gotta grab it real fast because it's in a box. It has a bunch of stuff inside of it.
Speaking of that, Red Art, did you see they announced that Lempo horror game, Reggie?
What's that about?
So Red Art has a new PS5 horror game called Lempo, and right now VGP has a special edition on sale that's the same price as the regular edition. There's only 500 copies available.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you, it's on VGP's website, it's $39.99, and the regular edition is $39.99. So if you want the cool
send me a
special
link
edition,
after.
I'll send you a link.
Yeah, send me a link after. And the next one here is Bubble Bobble Part 4, which is called Bubble Bobble for Friends Collector's Edition. I got that. Bubble Bobble. I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's a classic series, but this fourth game is really on point. So I haven't opened up this collector's edition yet, but I will pretty soon. And the last item, oh my god, this is one of the last items I bought at the Game On Expo, and this one made my package like when I got on the airplane, I had to like check my bags in because this is so big. But this is something you're gonna laugh at this, but Will, I think you'll appreciate it. I had this a long time ago, and I sold it on eBay because back when I was younger, I needed the cash. But I got this for a cheap price of $50, and that is the Street Fighter 4 Chung Li fight stick. And you open this up,
Nice.
open it up like that. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. It's $50, man. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take that. You know what I mean? So that was the last item I got, and I remember I bought this at Fry's Electronics back in the day when they were doing good business and they had like a lot of exclusive stuff. And I said I couldn't pass it up. So yeah, that is the last item I got at the show. It was crazy packed, and yeah.
Dude, I love those fight sticks. I have the Street Fighter one for Switch. I bought the Tekken one for my PS5. Yeah, dude, like all those ones are sick, dude. I would love to go back and get the PS3 ones too. It's so awesome.
It's a rabbit hole you can go down with fighting sticks.
Well, I'm actually worse with the fight stick. I'm just not. I'm better with the controllers because yeah.
What do you got for as well?
Oh, me? I'm okay. I'll go real quick because I only got two things to show. One thing that I got and one thing I was going to show later that I took out my display. I mean, show before. So this that I got when we were talking about digital and everything. So this is a gem in my collection that's actually going down because, as you guys know, with the 3DS shop closing down, so this is the Zelda edition sealed, right? I got it at a great freaking price, like on one of the auction sites. I think maybe on Whatnot, Reggie. I got it from a guy, got it for not much more than retail, and this was when it was already worth like $700. And I want to send this to get graded. However, it's gone down in price because the 3DS shop went down, and it so now Zelda, the code that you would get in this box if you opened it, you can't redeem. So that sucks, right?
Also, just like the seal value.
Even though you were going to keep it sealed anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh man, but it literally went down like $100, and I'm like, that sucks. Now this, my beautiful wife, who's been knocked out already for hours, she swore she was gonna stay up. She got me this for our anniversary. So I'm gonna show you piece by piece, and then explain it. Right? So, the reflection and everything like that, it looks like Inception.
That's crazy.
Right? So this. And it'll make sense when I show you everything around it. A power supply. So this is the weird gift that you asked on your 20-year anniversary for your wife to get you, and she gets you, right.
Like I got
a bunch of other.
Here you go.
Oh no! Oh yeah, she doesn't. She's just like, "What is it that you want?" I'm like, "Oh, it's in my wish list on eBay." She just ordered everything on eBay. Oops.
What the heck what are we doing here? I thought you were building a mister, but that ain't a mister. What is this?
Well, Will's not messing around, man. Like that piece
of
hardware right there.
Naomi.
That's
what is that?
It's a Naomi. So what I'm building, I like what you said with a Mister. So that's why I have a Raspberry Pi there and everything like that. And what this is called is the NetDim. So what I'm building is I pre-ordered one of those Unico candy cabs, and it should arrive next month. So I pre-ordered this stuff. I'm putting a project together to basically put a Naomi in that cabinet. So as you guys know, Naomi, right? And with the NetDim, what it'll allow me to do with the NetDim and with the Raspberry Pi and some software and the good old interwebs, right? I'm going to be able to have my own Naomi system at home, which, as you guys know, a lot of the Dreamcast games that came out were on the Naomi, right? Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and stuff like that, right? Cannon Strike. So it'll allow me to, through my phone, be able to pick whatever games on the menu that in running on actual Naomi hardware, which is a beefier version of a Dreamcast. And Dreamcast is my favorite system of all time. I got, I think I got one back there. CIB. I got some extras just in case. I have a Terra Onion. What is it? A Terra Onion, right? Mode, a Terra Onion mode, an extra one that I bought when they were real scarce during the pandemic of the FPGA. I left out, so I have an extra one just in case. And my Dreamcast, my main Dreamcast, I actually modded it and I sent it to this guy in, where the hell is he at? He's the guy that created the GDEMUs, the VMU2s and whatever like that. So I sent him 2 Dreamcast controllers, 3 actually, to cannibalize and create 2 of them that are Bluetooth. And I have a daughter board in the Dreamcast that allows me to play it like a modern system, where I can sit back really far and I can turn on the Dreamcast. I sent that video to Reggie. So I'm a big fan of that. So now to have one of the cabinets, since I have so many arcade cabinets, I got to take one out. So I'm going to get rid of the II Arcade. Unfortunately, for all my II Arcade modding buddies, I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to put this project together. I'm going to work on it. I like doing STEM kind of mod projects like that. And basically, once that Unico comes in, that candy cab, it's going to be my nostalgia from playing, Naomi systems in the arcade. So it'll be an official, legit Naomi with, amongst other games, but Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So like I said earlier, that's my favorite game series and fighting series, and I own it in so many flavors. And this time I want to own it on original hardware. Those are my pickups, man. Just got that from the wife. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, building cabs and stuff is fun. Like, I've always wanted to get like an Sega Astro machine and like build a shmup machine, and just like I would love to have a real arcade setup for shmups in my house. But
the cool thing with the Unico, the cool thing with the Unico is you can flip the screen that it comes with. It comes with an actual 4x3 LCD. So Unico makes the LCD, but you can, I guess you just go in there and the brackets are easy enough for you to flip it vertical for shmups. Yeah, man.
Dude, that's the dream. All right. I'll try to go quick. I don't have time. I'm going to have a decent amount of stuff. All right. So, first game I'll show is the one I showed off my Twitter today. It's called One Shot World Machine Edition. Nice. So there was some stuff on sale for Woot. If you check Woot often, you're gonna know what some of these games are. But yeah, this was on sale on Woot, like real cheap. I did a little research on it, and it looks really cool. It's like one of those unique story-driven RPGs that are like, they call it like a narrative experience. They kind of compared it to like Undertale or something like that, where it's like the game is like one of those fourth wall breaking things where, I don't know, it was one of those things where the more I read about it, the more people were like, stop reading about it, just play it and enjoy it. And one of those games where just experience it. Don't spoil it. So it looks really cool. The only comment that I saw that was a little weird was that people said that the PC version is the ideal version. It's like better than the console version, which I can't imagine why, unless it has something to do with like if you play with a keyboard, you have like a different experience with the game. Maybe it was designed for PC in that regard. I don't know, but either way, it looks actually really cool. It's called One Shot World Machine Edition, and it was pretty cheap. And I like cheap games that are obscure that I think will actually turn out to be good. These are the type of ones I think that'll be worth money in the future. And I doubt it has a day one patch. I like indie games. This is my cup of tea. This is when I talk about like I like games that are complete. Like I don't think this is going to be updated or there's going to be a royal edition or freaking whatever. It's like just this is it. This is the whole game. I'm down with that. So I also picked up Alliance Alive. The HD remaster.
Oh, nice, man. Was that expensive?
So if you want to get the ESRB version, it's really expensive. Like it's like $100 plus for that version for a sealed copy. You might be able to find a cheaper copy, like open or whatever. But I got this one for really cheap because I ordered it from some dude in Singapore. So I had to wait like 3 weeks for it to show up. But I was like, I got it for like $30 total or something like that.
Nice.
And
but just on that note, if you want the Australian version, it's like the same price as the US copy because we're just weird like that.
I don't know why, but for me, when it comes down to like, I would prefer to have ESRB versions. Like to have, I have OCD like everybody else. I'd like to have a perfect uniform collection, whatever. But when you started getting like $100 price difference, I'm totally fine with these because as long as it doesn't have DLC or something or like an online mode that I care what region it comes from, then this is fine because this is all going to be on the disc. It's going to play fine, so I don't care. And the reason that I got this game is this week the prequel's coming out. It's Legend of Legacy Remastered. I think it just came out already, but this is the sequel to that game, and it's actually better. And anyway, I was going to buy another 3DS, which is where it originally came on, and it was actually kind of expensive, so I figured I would just get this version. Long story short.
At this point, there's a high chance that it'll get a reprint anyway, so you can just then buy the ESRB version for retail.
It's an NIS game, so maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Collecting, who knows what'll get reprinted. So this I grabbed just because it's a terrible game. It's just the PS4 version of this game is really rare and hard to come by. It was only released in like Germany, I believe. I don't think it got. I'm pretty sure it's like one of the rarest horror games.
It's not a German rating, so maybe
this isn't. This is the PS5 version.
Oh, okay.
So the PS4, which I have the PS4 version, it's wicked hard to get. This one is like readily available, and it's on sale right now. I got it for like $20, and so I kind of just was like, I'll pick it up just in case it becomes rare in the future. One of those things, type of deal. So I'm just honest. This is speculation. It's not a good game. I wouldn't recommend it. It's like a little mystery, like puzzle type game, but it's kind of creepy looking. Check it out. The artwork doesn't do it justice. That is pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. Fun box, baby. But anyway, it's $20. I'm down. Same thing with this. This was on sale for $20. I've never heard of this game. But I did a little research. It looks dope. It's stupid as hell. It's like it reminds me like of an old like a PS3 game. So it's called Quantum Error, and it's like basically like it says when the Monad Quantum Research Facility was attacked by an unknown entity, a distress call went out to the neighboring Garbo Fire Department in San Francisco. I don't know why I find that so funny. You're just like a fucking fireman running around with a machine gun shooting monsters. It looks so stupid.
Oh, the police. We need something more. Call the army. No, call the fire brigade.
Call the fireman. Call Fireman Bob to go down there and take care of it. And it's like, it's like a low budget FPS horror game, but the monsters look like awesome. Like they look really cool. And I also did research like to see if it was related to the other Quantum games, because there's other Quantum games. It is not. It is not. Yeah, it's not. As far as I could tell, this has nothing to do with those. Totally separate. But anyway, it's on sale. It was on sale for Woot for like $20, dude. And yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Every time you say Woot, I'm like in my head, whoop whoop.
Yeah,
Woot.
goodness.
Speaking of Woot Woot, this was on sale for Woot, and I'm actually glad because I didn't order this from limited run for I held off at the time, just because I was like strapped for cash, and then this was on sale for wood. But this looks really cool. It's called The Last Spell. It's like a strategy RPG game with roguelike elements, but it also has like a sort of like a tower building, like not really tower defense, but like you're supposed to defend these guys in the middle from incoming waves of enemies. So yeah, I don't know. If you're a nerd, you might like it. I like strategy games. I like tower defense games. I love that stuff. So if you like turn-based strategy games, it looks cool. So this one, I don't know. This is one of those ones where I've been eyeballing forever, and I just finally pulled the trigger on it. I wanted this for a while. I missed it when it was originally announced by Super Rare. It's called Wolverblade. It's a beat 'em up game, and it's like Norse mythology themed, like Viking themed. I don't know. You can't really tell much from the case or the artwork, but it just looks like it's a sweet beat 'em up game. But you get like swords and stuff, so it kind of reminds me of like Knights of the Round ish, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But it looks really cool. It's called Wolverblade, and as far as I know, this is the only release. I don't think it got a PlayStation 4 release, which is what I was hoping would happen, but it never did. So, yeah, I'm not really into co-op games on Switch. I play handheld mostly, so like I don't know, just very rarely do I want to bust that out. Okay, so this next game, I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was announced that they were pulling a bunch of Adult Swim games off of all the digital marketplaces at the end of this month. I don't know if you guys saw that announcement, but there's a big list of Adult Swim games that got pulled down. And there were 3 games on the list that I could see that have physical releases. So I wanted to make sure I had them all. And this is the one I didn't have. So I grabbed this one. It's called Duck Game.
I've seen that before, yeah.
It's a party game. So if it's like, you really want to play with like 3 to 4 people. It's like kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a Mario Party type thing. I would say it's like more mini games, but the types of games are like more like 2D sprite type. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just, again, I'm speculating a little bit. Like I feel like once it's pulled down from the marketplace, and this is the only way you can get it is the physical copy, I feel like this is going to increase in value. So I grabbed it. So if you care, like I said, this is getting pulled at the end of this month. They're also the other 2 games physically on the PS4 were Rick and Morty Virtuality, that VR game or whatever. That's getting pulled. So if you that is a physical release. It also has a collector's edition. And then Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, that's also getting pulled. And that one is already expensive. So that's already
bought it recently.
Yeah, that one's already like $80 to $100. So I just have a feeling that one in particular is going to be like nasty expensive because that's a good game. Samurai Jack fans are like that. I don't know. That's kind of a niche thing, but people are into it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's already like $80 to $100, and I think it's only going to get worse. So,
and now it's got another stipulation added to it, and you'll have that whole FOMO of once the servers actually go down, people will buy these games. Like not now, but like at the end of the month, people will go crazy for it.
Once they're no longer available, then that's when the real FOMO hits. Once the price starts to go up. So people will listen to this today and be like, oh, whatever. And then they'll see 80, 90, 100, 120, 130, 140. And that's when they're like, F this. And they'll buy it. And by doing that, that keeps that trajectory going. And there's 2 cover variants. There's like a limited run version, and then there's the Best Buy version too. And they're both very expensive. So I don't know if that might also
Mario said, make it
Headlander
collectible.
And Rainworld as well.
What's that?
Mario said Headlander and Rainworld.
Are those? Do they have physical releases as well? I don't know. If there's more games on the list, let me know. Because I'll definitely grab. Yeah, there's like way more games that are getting pulled. There's like 20 games, but as far as I could tell, those are the physical ones that I knew of. So this other game came with Duck Game. I don't know what else this. It was with it. So there it is. Rocket Birds, hard-boiled chickens. It was basically free. Like the way I was looking at the listings, like this Duck Game, basically I got this game for free if I bought this combo. So I was like, screw it. I'll buy that one because I get a free chicken game. So there it is. It's called Rocket Birds Hard Boiled Chicken. And it's like, It looks okay. It's you're a chicken with a machine gun and you run around. It's like a two.
Why does it look like he's like a Nazi or something?
Because he is, or a commie, or I mean, that's Russian. It's more that looks Russian to me. That looks like Russian chicken, but I don't know. It looks okay. I'm not expecting much about this. I'll probably play it for an hour or two and be like, okay, cool chickens. That was a good time.
It looks like a limited run game that they shouldn't have bothered with.
Well, it's probably got good reviews on Steam and there's a cult following for it. Blah blah blah. Okay, so these last two, speaking what Reggie was saying, these were on sale in the Amazon store, but these are from Strictly Limited Games. And so I picked up the Tarkin Anthology Volume 1 and Volume 2. They were on sale for $19.99 a piece, which is the cheapest I've ever seen them. So for $20 a piece,
Wow.
$40 for the collection, I'll take that because they were selling these for like $40 a piece or something like that when they released. It was insulting. Like, first of all, this should be one collection. This shouldn't be two. It's freaking Tarkin, dude. Like, you could fit every single Tarkin game on one disc, no problem. And it was a little greedy that they did that. So, but anyway, for $19.99 a piece, I'm down with that. There's also like a version of these that it's just like one version. It's not split up to two, but it's only got like 4 games on it. So you're gonna miss out on a bunch of games if you get that.
Yeah.
But I did want to point out, which is kind of neat. That's the only PS4 game that I have like this. Is that this one has? These are stickers.
Oh, let's go.
I've never seen this like this on a game. So it's got the the PEGI and the USK logos on it, but there's stickers on the outside of the case.
Yeah, so they would have had it, and then
they're
to
not
be able
on
to
the
sell
game.
them, they would have had to put the stickers on.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never seen that. Even when I order from Strictly Limited, they don't come like that. They just ship them to me naked, I suppose, or whatever. They don't put the stickers on. So I thought that was kind of cool.
We get that in Australia a lot. We'll get games like sent from Europe sealed with the UK sticker, and then they'll have to put the Australian sticker over the seal to sell it here, and that's how it will be.
But now I don't want to open them.
Is a sticker on the outside of the
stickers.
seal or on the?
Yes, it's on the outside.
Yeah, I'd peel them off.
No, I'm keeping them forever, dude. I'm not gonna open them. I'm gonna buy more copies and open those. And then this is the last thing I got.
I got the sticker variant, guys.
It was on sale. I wanted this game for a while, but I just wanted to wait for it.
How much was it, man? Like
$30.
Are you serious?
For this edition? Yeah.
That's part 3.
Yep. This is the newer one. This is the 3. This is the Golden Showers edition. I'm sorry, Golden Memories edition.
Jeez.
That comes with a diorama, a CD, an art book, and an exclusive swimsuit mode DLC. Because I don't know, class.
So it says it's $35 now, and it can be delivered tomorrow. That's a good deal. I'm thinking about. I just don't know if I like the Ruin Factory series like that, but this the edition it comes with, because I know it comes with all those extras like soundtrack.
Oh, this thing has some beef to it. It's got some weight. I mean, Ruin Factory. I mean, it's like if you like farming sims, it's like Zelda and Harvest Moon. It's like so it's like, I like those because I like the action combat and I like the farming sims and so I don't know. I've tried to explain this to people. I like games that are like really stimulating, that like require you to constantly like think about what you're doing and like make decisions constantly.
What are you doing next?
I'm not into passive gaming where you sit there and watch movies. I'm like, I can't stand that trend of like just sitting there for 30 fucking minutes going like, okay.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
fine. What's that?
I'm about the Princess Peach instead, so I'm gonna pass on this one for now.
Yeah, whatever. There's a million games like this. They have 3. See, the only reason I really picked it up is I have 4 and 5, and so
right. So
I'm gonna have to pick up 3. Yeah, and I'm really desperately trying to get my girlfriend into that series, but she's so funny. She's like, no, it's too Japanese. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, that eliminates 90% of the games out there. They're all too Japanese. But she's just like, she can't get into the kawaii.
Yeah, when there's an American version.
Anyone with the girls are like, oh yeah, doing all that shit. She's like, what is this? I don't know. This is not how I act. Freaking weebs. This isn't how women act. Anyway, that's all my pickups.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Playing musical chairs with all swap seats.
That's a lot of pickups this episode, huh?
That was.
awesome. We've gone 2.5 hours. I think we might call
Yeah,
it.
it's the longest we've ever done it.
It's good stuff.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, man. It was a blast. Let everyone know where they can find
No, thank you guys. Yeah, JLS Gaming, JLS Gaming USA, I believe it is, right? And check us out, man. I'll get back on the ball and finally edit some videos that are in my back catalog to put up there on some cool unboxings and stuff like that, and maybe I'll do a video on the on that Naomi project if
That'd be cool.
the Unico ships next month. Yeah, so that'll be a cool project.
I'm intrigued to see how that turns out in the future. It sounds like it's going to be really cool.
And what's
Yeah,
the
the
site
one-
for the retro boxes too?
The site of the retro boxes is I'll put it in there too. It's GG Retro Box.
Can we put it in the
.com.
description of the video, Pigsy?
Yeah, I'll link everything in the description.
Yeah.
Word. Sweet. So if
Yeah,
everyone wants to
I'm
check
waiting
that out-
on a Terra, and I have an MVS as well. That was an MVS actually arcade. So that one I'm waiting. It was supposed to arrive in the last year, but the chip shortage. That one I'm waiting for a Terra Onion. They make a Terra Onion for it, but it was on back order. I paid for it last June and still waiting on it. But I'm waiting on that too, and I'll do a video for that soon, and everything like that. I've been meaning to do an updated kind of game room video, but everything is delayed. Everybody has a delay, and they still blaming stuff on the pandemic and the chip shortage.
That was over 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's like, are you serious? Come on, guys. They took my money. They took my pre-order money, but
Hmm.
you know,
They
they
spent
must
that
have
whole
spent
other
it on
topic.
strippers. Yeah.
Sweet.
So,
Well, that was an awesome episode, dude. A lot of fun. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a lot.
thanks, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Very cool.
no
So I got
problem.
relaxed
Thank
on the
you guys,
couch
man.
sitting all the way back.
Wait a minute. Let me see something. Does it do it? Yeah, there it goes.
What the
Oh,
heck?
snap,
Some weird-
wow.
You can. What the heck?
And
Does
look,
that work? Can I do that? No. How you doing that? You got cool shit.
no, I have a Mac. You could do that with Macs. It's weird.
Oh,
So
okay.
whoever
Yeah,
has
it
a Mac,
recognizes all that.
so you could do. I think you could do something. Thumbs up. Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, that's where I need to
That's fireworks.
We get a Mac, we want
That's
to worry about
crazy.
viruses and stuff.
I'm scared with pops.
I don't know what that does, man. But
That's the
yeah, I
recording
figured that
now,
out by
now they're
accident.
listening.
Yeah.
All right. That's a
All right,
terrible way
guys.
to end the show.
Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you
Bye,
guys on
everybody.
Sunday.
Take care, guys. Bye.